What is up, Friday Nighters? Welcome back to another episode of Just Another Friday Night. Double A, it is not, in fact, a Friday night. It is Thursday night again. So this is actually just another Thursday night tonight. But this should be the last one for a while, right? Guys, in case you didn't know, my name is CM Chuck. This man,
Double A.
Adamantium Adam. We are in the house. I have a little bit of housekeeping I did not do, which was like to change our title and all that. So give me a second and I'm going to do that. But in the meantime, guys, thanks for joining us early this week on a Thursday night. I'm out of town this weekend again. And so here we are. We're going to bring you a show a little bit early. And we appreciate you joining us. If you're joining us, feel free to jump in the conversation, comment, tell us what you think or think about what we're going to be talking about tonight. And just all things in general. Double A, right? Lots of stuff in the world of pop culture I feel like is going on, and news that we can address. So adrenalize me, bud. What are you thinking?
Well, the first one in wrestling news, man, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff passed away, man. You know,
super sad, right?
Yeah, headliner of the first WrestleMania ever.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Hogan had a huge house show run. With one in Canada drawing like 60,000 people, you know, that's just a house show. That wasn't like a Survivor Series. That wasn't a Mania. That wasn't a Rumble. That was just a plain old house show in Canada that drew that many people. So
he was what did he pass of, Double A?
I think it was Alzheimer's.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's just man, it ate him up pretty quick. I remember a few months ago they had said he was in declining health.
It was him and somebody else, right? Because we were doing prayers for both, I think.
Yes. And then, man, he just started falling not too long after that. So,
super sad.
You know, so another big legend gone, you know, from the wrestling. And let me see, that's from WrestleMania 1 now, that's two of the bad guys gone, Piper and Mr. Wonderful, you know. So,
well, definitely rest in peace to him and his family. You know, always sad when these guys go. Kind of young.
Yeah, still young, man. Yeah.
I saw Hogan's tweet about it. He seemed pretty he's like, man, I just got the news, and he's like, man, one of the great. I saw somebody also put the last member of the Heenan family.
Yeah. You know, it's like, you know, Hogan was such a great good guy that you needed really great bad guys, and he was one of those bad guys. I mean, what a nickname, right? Mr.
Wonderful. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Wonder Man from you know, Marvel. But the guy had a physique, man. I mean, shit, you know.
Pile driver, his maneuver, that was his main maneuver.
Yeah, there's some of those guys that back then. I mean, I know they say some guys were like body guys or whatever, but that guy definitely had the physique and all that. So.
And from what everyone has always said, legit tough dude.
Oh, really?
Okay. You know, 1992, they say he kicked Vader's ass.
No shit.
Backstage.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And we know Vader was no joke.
No, he was no joke.
Yeah.
So Mr. Wonderful, even in like 92, was still kicking ass. So.
That's something right there, man. That's definitely that. So I mean, sad passing. You know, of course, we always our wrestlers, the guys from our era.
We're wrestling guys. You know.
Yeah, man.
I mean, if he had ever came to a Comic-Con, we would have been there for sure.
You know,
to meet him.
He was like one of those guys. It was like, you know that guy's part of that, kind of clique,
And then, it's, you headline WrestleMania 1. That's just special.
Yeah.
To be one of the headliners of Mania, especially the first one, that's just awesome.
You're like forever in the history books, man.
Forever.
You're a part of wrestling history
forever.
now. So very, very, very sad passing of him. But what else, Double A? Anything else? Some lighter news? I had a couple of things I wrote down. I feel like we kind of glazed over. Maybe people might have been like, hey, no, we never mentioned this. And I didn't put anything on our Facebook. I don't always put stuff on our page like I probably should. But obviously, it was already probably a couple of weeks now. But, Kevin Feige puts up the picture or Hugh Jackman puts it up.
Oh, yeah.
Him and Kevin Feige standing together. And then they use the artist Boss Logic, his image of the claw. So, it could just be building buzz for no reason. But what do you think about it though?
I'm not going to believe anything yet. So.
We're both like that. You guys know we don't lend to the rumors here on Just Another Friday Night.
They've got so many plans, and Hugh Jackman is only just going to keep getting older. So, I it's fun, But I don't know.
And I wish they kind of wouldn't do that unless we're going to get that, because it'd be great to have that one time. You know what I mean? But I don't know that we're ever going to get that. So
I don't know either.
Why even tease it and show
just
it?
Tease,
But just
to, trend.
Get the fans salivating, right?
Yeah.
You got to keep your name at the top of the trends. You're exactly right. So, Jason in the house. What's up, Jason? Appreciate you being here, brother. Thanks for getting with me early and letting me asking if we were doing it early tonight, as we are. Next week should be returning back to Friday.
Yes.
Things will be back to normal for a while, guys. I hope. So thanks for sticking with us through this kind of unusual June, July we had here. But we should be back to normal after that. One thing I did post, Double A, was the obviously was kind of news, but the Deadpool and Korg commercial together for the I was about to say for the Van Wilder, which he is Van Wilder, but for the Ryan Reynolds new movie Free Guy. So it's funny, obviously he's Deadpool, and then Korg was voiced by Taika Waititi, so who's directing Thor: Love and Thunder. So you get them in a commercial together, and everyone's geeked because it's like, well, now it's like official. Deadpool is with a Marvel property guy. Previously his stuff was all Sony. So it's cool. It's a funny commercial.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's great as Deadpool. Obviously, one of the perfect castings of all time.
Yeah.
And Taika Waititi's pretty great as Korg.
It's not what I picture when I was reading Planet Hulk, but whatever.
Yeah, definitely not. Yeah, it's pretty good movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, man, that's not Planet Hulk. Korg.
He looks good though.
He does look good.
Wasn't he also one of the Avengers first villains? I think, or the Fantastic Four? I think. Thor. Oh, one of Thor's first villains.
His first appearance on the cover, it's him whipping a whole bunch of Korgs. So.
Bunch of Korgs getting whipped. So yeah, pretty cool. Rich in the house. Rich, what's up, my brother?
Cheers, buddy.
Oh man.
Cheers.
That's what my stomach problems were subsiding, you know what I mean? But
like you're in the house, Rich.
Rich needs his Colts cup out there, huh, Rich? Rich, thanks for joining us. Now, I'm sorry I didn't give you a heads up. I tried to post on our social media that I was late on that as well. So you see, we're here a day early, but the show is on extra late. So only could Just Another Friday Night be early and late in the same time.
Maybe we'll cross over into midnight.
Ooh,
and it'll be just another Friday night.
That is always possible, man. That's always, if you got nothing to be, nowhere to be, I got nowhere to be.
I got work, but that's fine.
So probably the last thing I want to mention that's super awesome. How about the fucking Emmy nods, man?
Yeah, man.
Dude,
they killed.
Dude, the goats are there, man. Fucking WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Mandalorian. I don't know. A whole shitload. They said even the whole Don Cheadle thing. Did you see it? He was shocked. He's like, I was in there like 3 minutes.
I was like, what the hell?
I did see a good post of someone said that the guy that played Isaiah Washington should have got it instead of Don Cheadle, and I was like, that's probably he was in it more. He acted more. I don't think really Don Cheadle didn't do too much acting as Rhodey. I was like, okay, Emmys, don't make yourself like look like you don't know what you're doing. You know what I mean? We want these wins to be legit.
I'm going for Elizabeth. I'm going for
Paul Bettany.
Yeah. Cobra Kai too. They got nominated too.
Awesome, man. For comedic series.
Yeah. So hopefully
I hope they get it too.
Yeah, I'm going Cobra Kai. Man, what a big difference, right? YouTube to Netflix to the biggest show in the world to now Emmy nominated. It's like, damn.
Yeah, and they deserve, guys, what have we always said, man? Every year at these awards show, our shows never get shit, but like visual effects
I'm super actually pumped, not like the Academy Awards where it's like, man, they bring out all these movies that I've never seen, I'm never going to see.
Yeah.
Man, these Emmys are like all the shows I love. I'm like, damn.
It's like I don't even know who to pull for because I'll be happy with any of them.
I know what's her name? The one that played Monica is nominated. Agatha is nominated. Elizabeth Olsen is nominated.
Yeah, Catherine Hahn and Tiona Parker.
And so they're going to be like all facing each other, I believe. So
awesome. Just like in the show. Yeah. Hey, man, these Emmy judges or whatever, they should either be like around our age or close to now. And it's like,
you know what? Or either that or they're just thinking, hey, we need some ratings. Let's nominate these shows that people are going to be like cheering for.
I watch the Oscars every year. This year was the first year I didn't watch. And even though I think they came back, they were actually there. It's like, I wasn't into it or whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I mean, I'm excited. Like you said, it made buzz for the Emmys for me. So people are showing up. What the heck? Rich says, cheers, guy. Dang, why that
cut?
Oh, who's this fella here? Gabe, what up,
what's up, fellas? He's asking me if I'm going to take those fantastic books, 4 books that he He cleaned up for me really nice. If I'm going to take him to a Comic-Con in New Braunfels to get graded, yes, I am, Gabe. You did such a great job. I'm probably going to take some more books to get graded but yeah, definitely those. Yeah, I got my Kang first appearance and my Loki first appearance. I'm probably going to be taking up there too. So,
guys, man.
If you got any comics that are like old, beat up, man, give it to Gabe. Gabe can do it. He can, even if you have like a marker on the back, on the front, he can take it off. So
I saw him before and after, Gabe. Man, beautiful work, my friend. I loved seeing that. I definitely want to get something to you your way. Maybe when I go with AA, I really want to see the process of being there with the CGC and then doing it there, how it all goes. So very, very cool.
I haven't even opened those Fantastic Four books. I'm not opening them up. The only person that's going to be opening them up is the handlers with the gloves on,
with the white cloth gloves, man. Yeah. Joe says, "Holy early show, Batman." Yeah, definitely an early late, right, Joe? We're late in the day, so thank you guys for joining us on a Thursday night, kind of late, but early as it is in the day early, so for sure. What else we got in there,
Rich says Cobra Kai is such an awesome show, and Loki is good too. They are doing a season 2, which we saw.
Yeah, definitely. We're definitely gonna get talking about that. Aaron B in the house. What up, boys? What up, Aaron?
Birthday boy, was it yesterday?
Yes, happy late birthday, Aaron B. We got a gift for you at the house. In the form of just another Friday night podcast t-shirt. Guys, don't forget, I have t-shirts right now for sale. My sizing is really limited right now because I sold out of my bigger sizes already. So if you guys you got maybe some kiddos or something like that, or people that maybe need a medium, I maybe have one large left. Let me know. New logo is really rad.
We shipped to Hawaii. We've shipped to Lubbock.
Ohio, Del Rio. South Carolina.
Yeah. We're spreading out.
Spreading out, guys. First the U.S., then we're going for the world after that.
World tour 2022.
Absolutely. Let's hello, loves. Yeah, guys. So let me know if you need shirts, if you need other merch. I've got some great the new design, new logo design. I think maybe we should do AA. What do you think about this? A new design shirt per season. So I'm calling this one the season 3 shirt, the one that says the Friday Night Faithful. You guys can see me on Instagram wearing it. I wore it in South Padre. Awesome. I paid for mine too, guys.
Where were you, by the way, where the color of money was back
there? That was some bar on South Padre Island.
That makes sense. Pool, right?
Yeah, it was right by the pool table. Yeah, and dude, check it out down there. They can still smoke in the bar. So I was like, we got out of there quick because I don't want my shirt getting all smoky. I was like, I got a headache quick. I was like, fuck, I forgot when you could smoke in bars. But that
was cool. I was like, man, we just talked about that.
Yeah. And on that note, guys, an element that's been missing of the show, but I'm gonna bring back here now with my brother. AA, guys, I'm gonna have a little drink ski here to celebrate just another Friday night early edition, guys. Here's to you. 45 days. I'm really proud of myself. I'm happy to do it again anytime, up to the challenge, whatever. If you do it, you do. If you don't, you don't. Either way, it's all good. So, but here's to the Friday Nighters and the Friday Night Faithful. Cheers. All right, guys, man.
If he ever decides to take another break, I will take a break with him.
And AA, man, thank you so much for supporting me that whole time, man. I know you could have easily. I have told him, hey, man, on Friday still drink, man. It's part of your thing that you do on Friday. You know what I mean? It's part of what we did on the show, and the show was doing that. But like I said, I just wanted to give myself a little bit of a breather, and I'm good. You know what I mean? So I always enjoy having the 2 or 3 that I have with AA when we're doing the show, and especially with you guys out there with whatever you're drinking. You know what I mean? So,
hey, Gabe, if you're still watching, did you go to the show this past Saturday? I picked up a few comics that I was pretty happy with. There's really only 2 stands, really. It was like Rick's, and then the guy in the back, like way in the back in the corner.
I kind of like that because you get to really maximize your time at those 2. You know what I mean? Hey, did your brother take his cards?
Yes, he did.
He got them graded?
Well, not by JSA. So him and Tony were both kind of like apprehensive. I don't know why. Okay. But they went to this other grading system that's pretty legit. It had been on ESPN too. Okay. It was like some Dallas company. I forgot. It's like Dallas something. It's supposed to be legit.
Is it like the CBCS, the ones that do that?
Maybe. I really don't know. I didn't look it up, but they did. Supposedly, like I said, and supposedly that company had been on ESPN. So he took his Michael Jordan autograph. and his LeBron rookie card. And the LeBron they gave him a 9, and the Michael they gave him an 8.
Oh,
so yeah,
okay.
so no, I mean that's awesome.
They sealed him up right there and give him back.
You know what? They didn't slab. I don't think he went through the whole kind of process. I think he just kind of got like a somewhat kind of grade.
Okay,
I don't know. It's in weird. It's in weird. I think if you wanted it shipped off and slabbed, I think they could have done that. But I think he was just worried, about giving up the car.
Well, yeah.
So
I mean, I wouldn't want to hand that over. I don't think I would hand that over.
I mean, he was nervous walking into the place with them.
We gotta tell your brother to get the briefcase with the handcuff, like the Action Comics #1 guy.
Yeah. Oh, Gabe. He goes, yes, I did. I picked up some good stuff. Bought a PS5 from someone there. I did buy some stuff for. Oh, okay. Cool.
Wow.
What did you get, Gabe? I got. Let me see.
A PS5. That's freaking awesome, Gabe. Damn, I'm looking to get one of those. Give me one, guys. Sorry if the picture looks a little grainy. I'm not sure what happened today, but for whatever reason, when the camera came on, we've got this grainy look to us. It's not doing any justice to the beautiful books we have in the back. I'll do a TikTok later. Gabe, you're definitely going to want to watch that TikTok. I'll also post it to our Instagram. I know you don't get on that much, but I think eventually when it goes on Instagram, it feeds to our Facebook story for the page. Check it out because you're going to really like what you see in this background. It is fucking awesome. I didn't know he was going to put those up. Very cool stuff. Rich says, cheers, cheers, Rich. Cheers, Joe.
And then Gabe, too.
Gabe, cheers also.
So Mario had kind of told us about these reprints, and he was able to get CM one. And I was like, man, these are really cool. They look real nice, first off. And they're really cool. So luckily, Rick actually had the one that Mario was able to get for CM. Because this one has the first appearance of Neymar kind of coming back. And then it had Doctor Strange's first appearance, too. Those were the two I really cared about. Because I was like, well, shit, I'm never going to be able to read those two for sure.
Right.
So I was able to pick this up from Rick's.
Oh, man, look at that beauty right there. And that is the exact same one that Mario. Is that the one Mario got me?
Yes, it is.
Mario Delgado got me.
Yours was a little bit better.
Yeah,
but I just want to read.
Yeah,
I just want to read the Doctor Strange first.
I've been meaning to bring that one in to show you guys from Mario that I had gotten.
And then I got this one too. I was so psyched they had it. This one has the reprint of Craven's first appearance.
Now, I love this. I would love to pick up one of those from next time I see
Rick, and it was a really good price. Right there. It has a Journey to Mystery Story too.
Back and get the whole cover.
And then I think that one's Wasp's first appearance too.
Rick's Comic Crypt, guys, go check him out. Yeah,
he was there. And then I got the Ultimate Fantastic Four, which I was telling CM. I didn't know the Marvel Zombies actually had like an actual first appearance outside of the series. I thought Marvel Zombies #1 was the first appearance, and then I found out that this is actually
which is a killer
appearance.
Magneto cover.
Yeah, it is, and so I was fucking psyched to have that. So.
Choking out Reed and the rest of the FF on the ground.
And then this last one I got from Rick was a really cool issue. It's G.I. Joe 109. Right there.
Oh, what
and this one, it's pretty brutal. This is like the death of Quick Kick, the death of Doc, and some more death of some Joes too. And it's like, damn, when they had that big old war. So this is like, Quick Kick's death.
Wow, that's very nice, man.
Yeah,
I like that.
So,
the Joes need to thin the herd a little bit sometimes. You know what I mean?
And then I picked up some really kind of like smaller issues. This is like Dr. Fate by J.M. DeMatteis. He wrote for Dr. Fate 2.
Oh, wonderful.
That's a pretty cool
a great cover. Yeah.
I love What Ifs. You guys know I love What Ifs. This is Bishop trying to stop Fitzroy. Another
very nice.
Fucked up future.
Classic. Makes you think about the 90s cartoon.
And then just because I'm a fan, and it was only $2, the Phantom. I love the Phantom. It's $2.
It's like iconic gimmick.
I just love the cover too.
Yeah,
I mean it's cool.
Now, would you let Billy Zane sign it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
sure.
All right. And Gabe says great pickups, though. I agree, man. I love that. So I'm sad I missed that show.
Yeah, I was just really happy though that, like I said, that Rick had these reprints. These were really cool.
Yeah.
Considering how much those are going for now, those are already starting to get kind of crazy too.
Oh, I'm sure. Jason says, have y'all gone to Trader's Village yet?
No, Jason, I haven't been there in weeks.
I have been, Jason, and I think that the most recent time I went, I think maybe you're referring to the shop that's where Mario's used to be. It wasn't even open when I went that day. So I always like to hit up Toy Matrix, which is the shop across where they got all the horror t-shirts. I go see Gary and Bobby, great toys there. Always awesome figures. amazing shirts. But I did get to go the time I went before to Traders Village, Jason. I did get to go into the new shop that's where Mario's shop was now, called Rad Comics. I think we kind of said this before, but I mean, I wasn't too impressed. It was okay. You know what I mean? But you know, maybe a work in progress. Maybe he's got some things to do, and maybe he needs some feedback.
I know,
so he can maybe, you know,
I know I've heard that
get to where he needs to be.
He's more into like the modern stuff. So
yeah,
you know, who knows? What was I gonna say? Gabe, too, if you're listening to, because I know you're a huge Bond fan, I was finally able to pick up the 2 issues from like 1 through 10 that I needed. It's 2 from Rick's. So I have, you know, Spawn issues 1 through 10. So
nice.
I'm always happy about
the hard
that.
to get number 9, right? Is the Angela first appearance.
No, I had that.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, I had that a long time ago.
I would like one of those
from Mario. With Mario,
oh, cool!
Back in '97. That's how long ago.
It's a great white cover where she's on there and
with medieval Spawn.
Yeah. She looks all badass.
Yeah,
awesome, man.
So and then again, there's this really great store that Mario told me about. This comic book store. It's on FM 78 and 410. It's called Sanctuary Comics. Man, what a great fucking store! I've already been there twice. I've dropped about over $100. The 2 times I went, picking up some Daredevils that I needed. So he has X-Force issue 1 for like $5.
Oh wow,
yeah,
very nice.
He had
out there, man.
He had X-Force issue 2 for $8.
Okay.
If any of you guys know, X-Force issue 2 is the second appearance of Deadpool. And everywhere I've ever seen it, everywhere in the comic stores, they're always selling that son of a bitch for $20. Always. So I couldn't believe it when he actually was selling it for $8. I was like, oh, I'm jumping on that one. So
yeah, totally.
So now, because of him too, I almost have the whole Rob Liefeld collection. I'm missing X-Force issue 5 because he did New Mutants 87 all the way to 100, and then he did 1 through 11 or 12 or 13.
Yeah, because it switched, right? It went from being New Mutants to being
he was
X-Force.
tired because I was hearing his podcast. He said he hated the New Mutants tagline. He said it didn't sound good, not like all the other titles, X Factor, X-Men.
Yeah,
you know, he was like, man, New Mutants, that just sucks. Yeah. You know, that sucks. So he wanted.
After a while, they're not new anymore.
And so he was like, man, I want mine to be X-Force, you know, and he wanted Cable to be like that middle ground of Magneto and Xavier, you know,
okay.
You know, kind of take Xavier's side, but be extreme when he needed to, like Magneto. Yeah. So I just need X-Force issue 5, and I'll have that whole Rob Liefeld run.
Ooh.
You know, so
who's got one out there, Gabe? I know you know. I
was just happy that the dude had it over at Sanctuary. His name is Roland. Mario's talked about him before on the show. Great stuff. He has some really great comics, and I'm going to go again tomorrow.
Awesome,
and check out what more he has.
I can't wait to go with you, brother, and get the digging.
And it's real easy from here.
So, yeah,
I mean, we can hit it up quick, like real quick. I can pick you up. We can go quick. It's a smooth drive to over there. It's real big. It's real nice. So
if I wasn't out of town again for 4 days, I would definitely be there with you, man. Gabe also mentions that Ekman's is coming up, and it will have all new vendors, which is great. It's great that there's going to be new blood in there. Great recipe for digging.
Hopefully they open it more. That's what they needed the last time. It really needs to open up the shrine more.
Spread it all the way out. It wasn't spread all the way out last time.
No. Like the Texas Comic Con, they had it all open.
Ekman can fill that place.
And, sure. It did.
It was so great last time, and it felt like old times. I was like, man, and definitely digging crates in long boxes with you. Gabe was cool.
But yeah, Sanctuary Comics on FM 78. That's fucking legit. That's a legit store. So
yeah.
And he's a great, super guy, nice guy. Oh, and I the Man Without Fear, since we're talking about Frank Miller, he did that 5-issue run. I was able to get most of them too.
Nice.
Issues 1, 2, and 3. So,
you know, and we said that's kind of a key element of shop owning is when you have a great shop owner. So,
and he is super great. Roland is super good.
I've picked up some stuff too. I haven't brought it because we've been kind of like, rushing these shows, and I've got still after this to go home and pack or whatever. But next week when we're back on our regular schedule, I'm start bringing in little by little some of the stuff I've been wanting to show you guys that I've picked up. We're both going to have probably some small stacks to show from a recent friends kind of in the biz, Invincible Comics and more.
Yes.
Alfred and Chris do a great job over there almost every Friday. We don't get on.
It was my first time though last week.
I'm
think
so happy you got in. Yeah,
I think you tagged me in, and I was able to see it. And I was able to pick up 2 items. I didn't get to stay. I wish I did. I really wanted the last item that I saw, but I was like, shit. So, but I was happy when I got.
Yeah, me too. 2 weeks ago, I was chasing this Elvira. I didn't get it, but I got some other stuff. These guys deal more in, and mainly Alfred runs the live auction, but it's a lot of newer stuff, whatever, or stuff that was out there. Variants. They're really good about doing variants.
The mystery box is really.
I won one of the mystery boxes.
Really itching to put a bid, but when I saw you did it, I was like, okay, I want to jump over you. So.
That's why I didn't bid against you on the horror comic, because I wanted the horror comic. One. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Well, I wanted. Okay. It sounded so interesting what he said, right? The story.
Yeah. And I saw the little bit that I could see. It said it was a Vertigo story.
Okay.
So I was like, oh wow. Cool.
Well, I just figured I'll read it off of you once you read it. But Alfred does a great job too of explaining kind of what the books are about.
Yeah, because I've always thought I've been like, eh. But when he told me what he said to everyone what it was, I was like, oh.
Yeah, Joe Hill, right? Joe Hill?
Yes, Joe Hill.
Joe Hill. Yes, so very cool sounding horror book about kind of the survivors of people that survived, like Jason, Freddy.
He says they're never mentioned, but it's them.
Right.
So it's like a survivors club. That it's kind of like Saw. There's a Saw movie that has that.
Oh, really?
Where they have like a club that actually survives.
That's pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet. It just sounded really intriguing, so I was definitely there for it.
I think I only paid like 2, 3.
Yeah.
3 bucks. I think it wasn't I don't know.
It's auction style, and there's a chance for you to win stuff at a really low price. You know what I mean?
So the one I got, I was like super amazed how low I got it from, because that shit goes up for a lot of money. The one that I bought, so I was really happy.
And the beautiful hardcover that you actually gave me for my birthday, you got a chance to win one for yourself.
So I'm happy about that. Like I said, it was really cheap. It was like almost half off. Yeah. And it was kind of cool because he's always the only one bidding. He kind of closed it up. And he was like, we're just going to close it up. Adam, you won.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right.
You always get that opportunity too. This last one, I've seen people were getting the bidding wars, but this last one, it looked like people were winning on their first bid.
Well, what was the one? It was the mystery box, I think, that was actually having a little bit of bidding war. There was one.
There was one that was like that. Yeah. But man, right away, he put out that great.
It was a slab.
The slab
one.
Yeah.
What was it?
Damn, the one I wanted that got into bidding war was the where the Fantastic Four guys meet the Beatles, and they had the Beatles at the Strange Tales.
I almost came close to getting it, but I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it right now.
Yeah, that was exactly how I was.
It was a good price. It really was a good price. It was only like $30. And,
beautiful book.
Yeah, anytime you can find a Strange Tales and it's Dickel. I mean, golly, normally I would have jumped on it, but I was like, golly, I can't do it right now. So, and
they do such a mix. Sometimes there's Golden Age stuff. Sometimes there's Bronze Age, Silver Age stuff. Sometimes it's new stuff. Sometimes there's toys. This last time they had toys. They had that Black Widow figure, which was beautiful. I was like, I wanted it $20 right out the gate. That was a great price for that. But I was like, if I spend this $20 now, it's going to hurt me later on. I wanted to wait till later, deeper in the auction, which I did. And
I saw you made that comment too, I think.
You made that comment. I didn't want to go too early. And it's a lot of fun hanging out with them too. It's, I mean, if you're not here hanging out with us, you're hanging out with them, we get it. I don't think Alfred's doing one tomorrow, but if he was, I would definitely jump on it, because the last couple times.
We'll see, right? Maybe he will.
Yeah, we'll see. But definitely, guys, go check them out. It's Invincible Comics and More. Join their group. They're a lot of fun, and it's a fun auction, and there's lots of good stuff in there. So, what else, Double A? We're pretty close to the first break here.
Yeah. Let's just cut to the break. And
okay, guys. Well, you know how we do it here. This first 30 minutes, we're here with you live. We invite you to join the conversation with us. In this next 3 minutes, we're going to get into the first part of our kind of two topic.
Same manner, two different topics.
Two different topics. But check it out with us. Join the conversation. We're going to be here hanging out with you. We're going to get through that, and then after that first 30 minutes, we'll read some more comments from you guys. Hopefully, you're joining in and telling us what you think and thought about what we're going to talk about, and then we'll go from there. We'll see how long we get on and hang out with you guys tonight. So hang tight, and if you're listening to us on audio, we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Guys, if you're joining us live, I didn't go anywhere. I just got to let that audio stream. How are we looking and sounding, guys? Because I feel like we're super loud now. Is that better? I had us so loud, but I can't hear anything. I don't know.
Might be water in your
ears. Yeah, it might be ocean water. Maybe I have it so damn loud on the mic. I'm afraid Double A's probably what the fuck? I can't figure out. So yeah,
hey guys, anybody been watching the finals? I think it's 2-2 now. Phoenix took the first two, and now Milwaukee's back in it. So
me and my dad watched game 2 when we were at the beach, and awesome. we I kind of fell asleep towards the end, whatever. But I woke up and saw that they lost the Bucks, but then I saw they tied it over, so it's going to get good.
2-2 now,
it's going to get good. So is it the home teams and the home teams have won?
I think so. But now it should be these last 3 games should be in Phoenix. So
so they got to steal one. If the Bucks are to win,
man, I can't believe the Bucks have been kind of losing this bad. They got a 2-time MVP in there,
Giannis, right? Yeah. So, but again, is it the LeBron syndrome where he's alone? Like, does he have help? I don't know any of those other guys.
Rich, help us out. Does he have any help?
You need one good other guy with you. That you need that guy that can dump in 20. Like you need that Ginobili, like a guy off the bench that's going to give you a spark.
Yeah, and then I don't know if you've been seeing, but man, Team USA has been playing pretty horrid.
Man. I say we lost to Nigeria.
Yeah,
we lost to
Australia. We lost to Patty again, man.
Yeah. Hey, did I see that? What's his name? Larry Brown was coaching the Nigerian team.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Can an American coach another country's team? Sure. It's whatever. It's
Becky played for a Russian team.
Oh, remember? That's right. That's right. She did. Is because that's her heritage, or
they didn't pick her on the USA team, so she was like, "Can I play on the Russian team?" And they let her. So
okay, random. All right.
She wanted to play, and
well, I mean that's awesome. No, I mean
Team USA didn't fucking pick her.
Yeah, that's awesome. But I just didn't know you could do that. I thought it had to be like your country of origin.
She got her citizenship over there. She applied for it. She got it, so she has dual citizenship.
So they pushed that right through, right? Push this through.
I mean, I don't know how much of a big difference it was for them, popularity or not. I don't know. So
yeah,
I don't know if that helped Russia's ratings. I don't know if that.
Well, me and you should go to Mexico and make a Mexico bobsled team. And we can make a movie about it, and we'll call it Culero Runnings.
Damn.
Were you guys gonna watch? What does Rich say?
Well, remember, Tim almost wanted. If he said that the Virgin Islands had a team, he would have played for Virgin Islands. So.
The basketball?
Yeah,
that would have been badass. Yeah.
So,
but they're U.S. Virgin Islands. It's like
it was something weird. Like he was saying something like if they had a team. I don't know.
Okay, take it easy, Tim. You fall under our jurisdiction.
Rich says, "Yeah, come on, the Suns. They're not playing as good as they did in the first 2 games." And Rich says, "Bucks have a good team, but 2 players have been stepping up, and it's what the hell happened? It's Giannis and Middleton." And he says next game is Saturday. It's back to Phoenix, then Milwaukee. Then Phoenix. Okay. Again, if it goes to the whole 7. Joe says a lot of Americans play in Russia in the offseason. And Rich says Team USA looked tired, to be honest.
I'm like, who? Those guys are lazy. Those guys are fucking lazy.
You know what?
Fucks.
I don't even know. Like everyone's kind of been bashing Pop, saying how he's doing a good job. I really don't even know who's on a damn team.
Durant.
I think he's the
Lillard.
only major superstar.
I thought Lillard was on there.
Well, I don't know. It seemed like everyone was turning it down. Like everybody
throw us some names, Rich and Joe. Who's playing on Team USA right now besides Durant and Lillard or whatever? But way to slack off, fuckers.
Durant is supposed to be the best player in the league, isn't he? Isn't that what everyone said? I mean, whatever.
LeBron turned it down?
Yeah, he said no. A lot of other people say no.
Yeah, you guys know how I like to give you my Fortnite updates. Well, apparently he's coming to Fortnite and the way that they're touting it is the king is coming to Fortnite. And I'm like,
at least you won't have to watch the movie like I did.
Ooh,
my daughter wants to see the.
I don't know.
Movie.
I don't know. My nephew tells me he might want to get LeBron on the game, and I'm like, he's like, well, some of the stuff he has is cool.
He's like, I want to be the king, Theo.
I'm like, am I allowed to shoot you in the game? Because if you're wearing that, I'm going to shoot you. But we might end up having to double up the kids on that viewing of that Space Jam because he might want to go see it. Oh man,
really?
I don't know. Should we hate? I mean,
No, I'm fine with LeBron. I'm fine with him. It's just damn.
I'm not fine with it. Fuck that guy, man. I'm like, why are you the face? Can we get somebody else in already? I mean, like. I feel like he's of the John Cena era. We need to move you out now. Yeah. We need to move in the new. Is there a new? Who's a new face? Double A. Is there a new guy that's
they're trying to make it Giannis.
Okay, I like him. I can't say his last name, but I like him. Let's do it. I'm for Giannis. I don't know if I get a jersey, but I think that's cool. What do we got here in the comments though?
Joe says long way from the dream team. Rich thinks they're just burnt out. And Joe says, dude, I don't follow the NBA necessarily, just a Spurs fan.
Oh, wow. All about the baseball. Who won the home run derby,
Oh,
Joe?
shit. I didn't even notice that either.
Yeah, I knew that it was on. I think it might have came on when I was on the way back from the beach. One of the days I was there.
Sunday.
I'm not going to lie, guys. I put on Sports Center sometimes right now, and it just puts me right to sleep. I'm like, oh, this is great for the news. Hey, AEW was just in Austin, right? I saw a lot of people posting.
They're going to be in Cedar Park.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever been there to that Cedar Park HEB Center?
I have not.
It's a nice little building.
I've been to the Circuit of the Americas, but not the Cedar Park.
Yeah, it's a nice little building. It should draw a lot of people, but they're saying they're selling out their venues. I saw a tweet saying that WWE sold out the Toyota Center here in Houston. Right. So, I mean,
well, where was AEW? Just it had to be in Texas. Recently, were they in Dallas or something? Somebody, one of my wrestling guys, let me know. And the reason why I asked this is because they went live on their Instagram. I turned it on to look, and there was a guy in line behind the super hot announcer chick talking. And this guy, I see him at every indie show that we go to.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, are they in Texas?
Maybe
I was freaked out. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? So, what do we got in there, comment-wise?
Rich says you have plenty of players like Bradley Beal, Jason Tatum, Draymond Green. And then Joe says,
I saw Draymond's ass on it.
And then Joe says, dude from the Mets, I think I didn't watch freaking work late, but the All-Star game was huge. AEW was in Cedar Park. Middleton, then Rich says Middleton, Drew Holiday, and Devin Booker are supposed to play, but after the finals. Well, we might not even have a team.
I was going to say, what, play for bronze or what? I'm like, fucking whatever. Fuck those guys, man. Shit sounds lazy to me and whatever, but that's just me. All right, guys. Well, enough about that. Thanks for joining in and catching up on that. But stick around. I want you to join in the conversation. We're going to talk about next. We're going to switch gears. We're going to get you out of the mindset of sports and get you back into our bread and butter pop culture. And I think you guys are going to like what we're going to talk about tonight. We never double up, but we're doubling up in this episode, I guess, because we're going to miss you. We miss you. We ain't going to see you. We're seeing you Thursday, so we're going to see it's me more than a week. But the next time we see you on next Friday, it'll be a week and a day. So let me get the audio going here, guys, and then we'll get right back into it. Here, I forgot about all the burpees. Excuse me.
Well, sir.
Oh man, it's been a minute, right? Yeah. All right, guys, here we go. All right. Thank you guys so much for hanging out during that break. If you joined us on YouTube or on Facebook Live, as we do normally every Friday night, but tonight is a Thursday, then you got to hear our conversation. We talked about the NBA Finals and sports during the break and kind of caught up with you, the Friday Night Faithful, and the Friday Nighters there during that. But we are moving on now, Double A and I, to our very glorious purpose. It might be misleading because we're dressed differently and we're bathed in the red light. So we want to address the elephant in the room. Obviously, Marvel had a huge week, right? So Black Widow, and then right afterwards, Loki wraps up, right? So our initial plan, we had a couple of initial plans. Our initial plan was to do Loki today, right away. But it's kind of weird because it just finished yesterday, and today is not Friday like we normally do. And we normally give you guys a week because we don't want to spoil it. So ahead of time, right now, if you guys have not seen the end of Loki, in a little bit, we're going to get into it, and we're going to spoil the fuck out of it. So do not watch this live, and do not listen. If you have not finished Loki, there will be many, 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 many spoilers, and we're going to talk about it in depth. But before that, if you want to hang out with us, to give you some time to still chill with us, we're going to talk about the Black Widow, because obviously that came out, and that's been over a week already, right? The 9th.
It just came out this past Friday, so
yeah, but
huge opening,
huge sales on Disney Premiere. I have not yet bought a movie on Disney Premiere until this one. Let's get into it. Double A, Black Widow. I'm going to tell you my part. Again, I bought it on Disney Premiere. I did not go to the theater. I did watch it with my family, my nephew, my mom, my girlfriend, my sister. It was fine, but upon finishing it, I felt bad that I didn't go to the movie theater for it, because I think that I would have enjoyed it.
I wanted to go to the theater, but I didn't think I was going to be able to make it. So, like you,
me too.
I had to get it too.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good movie, and it kind of did make me sad at the end. I won't say that now, but damn good movie. Good solo movie. Takes place right after Civil War and just before Infinity War. So
yeah.
covering that gap for Natasha.
And that surprised me because I don't think I knew that they were going to go that route.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I thought they were going to go back to her before.
Yeah.
Like I guess meeting up with even Stark that we see in Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
But then I was like, oh, it's going in between, like right here. So that's kind of a cool space for her. And I really like that. I liked it.
What did they at the beginning? The Russians in America.
Yeah, that was very cool. They do a great job of grounding it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like in reality, like obviously that happened. And, I love David Harbour. I love Rachel Weisz.
He was the fucking MVP for me in this movie. A lot of people were saying Florence, which she was great. She was fucking awesome. But,
Florence Pugh, yeah.
yeah.
My dad, that's who he loved. He said he loved her.
Yeah.
Because he has my subscription at his house, he got to watch it too this week.
Okay, cool. But David Harbour, right?
Yeah, David Harbour.
Man, just fucking outstanding.
It's got the U in there, so I don't know if it's like Harbor or
But fucking outstanding, man. That guy made me crack up. He was funny.
Didn't he seem like he was having fun too? Like he was having like.
And you know what? This is another character that I never really heard of. You know, and I saw he has a history in Marvel, so I was like, damn, okay. So
Marvel, the Kevin Feige and that team, they're deep in the Marvel right?
Super deep in that fucking well.
Shit, I knew less about him, but when she called him accidentally the Crimson Dynamo, I knew that name. I knew that name too,
but that wasn't him. That wasn't what they, that's not him. He's the Red Guardian.
Yeah.
And he does have a first appearance, and that cover does look pretty cool in the Avengers. It's a pretty cool Jack Kirby.
And he does fight cover. Cap in the comics, right?
Yeah, not in the movie though. Where
although he says
that he did in '83 when some guy was like, he wasn't even around in '83.
Yeah. But that guy was cool. That guy, did you notice he had the classic Russian mafia tattoos?
Yes.
That was
so supposedly this guy is supposed to be like the Russian super soldier equivalent. I was like, oh man, they're kind of stealing that from Omega Red. I was like, son of a bitch, So I guess he's supposed to be, the super soldier. I don't know how they cracked whatever formula it was to give the Red Guardian, but I was like, wow.
Plus, where does that leave the Winter Soldier? Wasn't he the
that's another good question.
The version of the, you know what I mean?
Unless by that point Winter Soldier had just became straight freelance, or that's where what's his name? Oh man, I forgot his damn name.
Zola?
No, not Zola. The one he works for, Alexander Pierce, Robert Redford. Working for them. Somehow they're able to grab the Winter Soldier from, I guess, Russia or something.
Okay.
Because he's with them.
Yeah, that's right.
He's been working with them for a really, really long time at this point. So maybe, I don't know, maybe they got something. Maybe they figured something out from him.
Well, they're doing better than the Americans because Cap goes in the ice. We just give up. Meanwhile, Russia's pumping them out. You know what I mean?
Supposedly, that's what Bruce was working on.
Remember? That's right.
In the Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton.
Yeah.
General Ross is like saying, he was working on the super soldier serum.
I totally forgot that.
Yeah, he was like, either something went really right or something went really wrong.
Yeah, that's right. And how about him coming back?
That was fucking cool. I was like, man, I didn't think he was going to survive this long. He's been there since what, Iron Man?
Yeah, no, Incredible Hulk.
Oh, Incredible Hulk, and then Iron Man 2 is where he makes. Or no, that's the end credits where.
That's right.
Downey comes, and I was like, "Wow!" So he's been there since almost the beginning of the whole Marvel universe. So that's pretty damn cool that William Hurt gets to be.
When I saw his name at the beginning, I was like, "Oh shit!" Like Ross is going to be in this.
Too, and then he was right in the beginning too. He was right there in the beginning. So,
and he is famously the Red Hulk, correct?
Yes, he is. So I don't know if we're ever going to get there. I doubt we're ever going to get there. But
I mean, it's so funny, right? Because Marvel goes so deep. It makes you think, like, man, if you're sitting around in that meeting room, maybe you toss it out there. You're like, hey, I did my research. You think we're ever going to get to that Red Hulk thing? Because I doubt Natalie Portman ever thought she was going to get to. Will Mjolnir, and now it's possible.
Well, it's like I told you, though. I was really disappointed when, they did the Planet Hulk already.
Yeah.
And Thor Ragnarok.
So quick,
I was like,
too.
Wow, that could have been like a whole nother phase where the Hulk is the bad guy. And I was like,
yeah.
So
I think there's many possibilities now, though, right? As we know.
Yeah. So we get the beginning, him and Rachel Weisz.
Mm-hmm. Who she's somebody too, apparently.
She is. They all live in America, and they're
the Iron Maiden. They call her the Iron. That's her name in the comics.
Yeah. So you got Yelena, you got Natasha, you got the Red Guardian, acting like a clean-cut American family back in 1995, and then all of a sudden he comes home and he's like, "We have to go. We have to go." They found out, so he destroys like some sort of base, some sort of factory. straight to Russia. They break up the family. Excuse me, I'm burping a lot.
That's all right. Yeah, but that's what's happening. Yeah, it's been a while. We haven't had any on excuse us.
And yeah, man, we don't see them. They're all separated.
Right.
They get taken. The kids get taken to the red room right here.
Yeah,
and they begin their training.
Thank you, hun, for this shirt. This is from Jess.
Oh, nice. She had a great sale yesterday.
Yes.
Caught that.
Yeah.
Man, and you just see them the training,
right?
From a young age. It's kind of like, man, I was kind of waiting to see John Wick was there too. But,
yeah, and like or what about what was her movie Red Sparrow with
Scarlett Johansson?
No, the other one, the other blondie,
I'm sorry. No, Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence. She was that Red Sparrow, which kind of, when that movie came out to me, I was kind of like, hey, this is like the Black Widow story. I was like, what a fucking rip. But yeah, pretty much, the girls didn't, especially the littler one, Yelena, she didn't want to go back. And
no, because she believed in all that. Obviously, you see Natasha kind of knew what was going on.
And she was still a badass already because she disarms that guard.
Yes,
how about did you notice the shield truck with the old logo?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, it had the classic shield logo on there, like when that first truck was pulling in. They did show it once, but I was like, oh, badass to use the old, like kind of the logo we know from the comic.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yes.
Now it's all fancified now, but that was kind of neat. So it's shield after them, not FBI, not CIA. So that kind of tells you right there that maybe there's more to whatever they were doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, you meet the dickhead guy. That scene comes up. They make it out on the plane. Red Guardian kind of shows some of the powers there, and he flips over that deal.
He does.
And you're like, oh shit, this guy's got super
I was kind
strength.
of like, holy shit. When I saw that, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because again, I don't know who this guy is. I didn't look him up either. Even when they mentioned him that he was going to be in this movie, or who he was going to be playing, I still didn't look him up. I was like, whatever.
Now, where do you stand with the Black Widow? Are you a Black Widow fan? Have you read her stuff?
No, I was never a Black Widow fan. And her stuff, I think, was like in Tales to Astonish or Tales from Suspense. I mean, she really didn't have her own. And then for a while, she shared her stuff with Daredevil. So
she was hanging out with him a lot?
Yeah. Like almost kind of like Captain America and Falcon.
Yeah,
that was kind of like that.
Oh,
Daredevil
really?
and Black Widow.
No shit.
Yeah. So
was it separate stories or they were hanging out
together because they were actually together?
Oh wow.
Yes.
I didn't know that Matt Murdock and her dated.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so
interesting.
I don't think she's ever really had like a main run, and because of these movies, again, they put this character to Black Widow.
Yeah.
And made her something where she's a valuable property.
Because was she ever an Avenger even? I don't even remember that.
I don't know. I you know what she might have been? I know she was a champion. Do you remember that group with Hercules and Ghost Rider and Black Widow?
No.
That was just a weird team that they put together.
Wow. I remember the Contest of Champions.
No, there was actually a group called the Champions.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's a weird group. It's Blaze. Ghost Rider, it's Hercules, it's her. It's a weird team. It's so I don't have any of those.
But you do have this interesting one up here, this X-Men, which is like one of the famous
Jim Lee covers.
The Jim Lee cover,
like her history with Captain Wolverine.
Her Captain Wolverine, which is pretty cool. Me neither, man. I mean, she was one of those characters I was always kind of indifferent about back in the days when we were like, there was no movies and stuff. I just like, oh, she's cool, like female spy character, Russian. When she came out in Iron Man 2, I thought that was cool. Number one, obviously Scarlett Johansson is fantastic, and I was like, oh, neat, they're bringing more characters in, so I liked that at that time.
I didn't think she was ever going to become as big as she became. So kudos to Scarlett Johansson for that, because
I would say that the top gal in Marvel, pretty much. Sure. Not power wise, but at least a lot of recognizability.
People were pissed off. Remember, a lot of people were pissed off in Endgame that she died.
Yeah.
I mean, people were pissed. People were like, no, that should have been her moment. That should have been her leading the team. Yeah. When they had that female
moment,
they were like, that should have been her time right there.
I mean, I would have hated to have seen Clint die. I mean, they could have mixed it up. You know what I mean? Because I love Hawkeye. I love Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye. But I'm also, in my opinion, it was a bad move too, because you guys only got one girl on the team really, and you're gonna kill her off like that. Cool. You know what I mean? So, but and people were saying, I was reading too, that this movie was like her swan song, like her way to send her off. You know what I mean?
And, which kind of made, like I said, more kind of sad. I was like, oh,
yeah. But great action in that beginning sequence. Then we get into them. It kind of fast forwards. Then we see Ross. He's obviously after her, and We get to see the Yelena, the sister, grown up, who's
in a Black Widow outfit.
What's her name again? The actress?
Florence Pugh.
Florence Pugh, yeah, which is from Midsummer.
Yeah, and then I saw her from Fighting with My Family.
That's right. She played Paige, right?
So that's where I knew her from.
Yeah.
So.
And so she's a great actress. She did a great job, obviously, and she's the heir apparent now to that. So if we're building a whole new Avengers team, we've already got a Cap. We've got
that's right.
You know,
if
her.
they go that route,
if they go that route, yeah.
If they still keep the Avengers as their flagship title, I guess.
Or do you move it to?
I thought that's what we're doing.
The
actually.
FF.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna do something else now. You know, I thought okay, Avengers after time.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they'll come in. You know, supporting.
Yeah,
you know, the newer group. You know.
But I feel like we're going to get the female Thor, obviously with Jane Foster.
Yeah, we're gonna get Jane as her.
It's almost like you're getting another version of it.
Yeah,
you know
like even Hawkeye too. Like the daughter's supposed
to
be
replacing
him. So.
And I heard that the Ironheart girl too, the Iron Man replacement. So although I don't know if you're going to throw Spider-Man in there, and I don't know. It's a weird.
You have to keep Spider-Man. You have to.
Yeah,
and man, you really have to. If you're going to do a team, you really got to throw in the powerhouses. Fantastic Four. You really got to have them kind of leading your way. I would think so.
Well,
and then they haven't said anything about Chris Hemsworth because he's still going. He's still the only one that's
their original.
You know, and Guardians too. Those guys are still around too. So,
I mean, you know, and you can do a lot with him. You know, with Thor. I mean, you can put him different places doing different things for sure.
So then we get this. You know, obviously they're the team of Black Widows are chasing this scientist,
right?
Someone, and. She gets her, Yelena gets her, and then she sprays something in her face, and it kind of wakes her up. Like she was like in a, what would you say? Like kind of like a
Manchurian candidate, activated mode. Yes. Like, okay, like I'm doing my spy shit. You know what I mean? I'm on the mission, and I've got the prime directive type thing. You know what I mean?
But wakes her up, and she's like, oh shit, and then she stabs herself, saying. Gets a tracker out, and then they go full blast after that. It's a big old cat and mouse chase afterwards, and
it's great action, and it's great. There's I think there's enough, callbacks and hints to the other ones, and Scarlett Johansson is just fantastic. She really embodies that character.
And then it shows her like how much she's been trying to hide. She knows this guy that can put her in some safe houses. She's trying to erase her tracks. She's living like in a trailer, and trying to just disappear for a while, let Ross cool off for a while, just disappear completely. She gets some new passports, new license, shit like that. So
they make mention, of course, of her obviously being an Avenger and her other family kind of being, her family being messed up right now because obviously this is after the whole Tony Cap thing, and so it's neat too that there's that you're putting your mind back in the mindset of like post Civil War.
But obviously she's huge. She's an Avenger. So everyone's like, "Ooh, you're you're one of the big the big groups. You're a heavyweight. So.
Especially when she crosses paths again with Yelena. You know what I mean? Her sister, and she even ribs her about like, why do you guys always like land like that and like flip your hair? She's like, you're such a poser.
It was funny because like I think the first time I ever saw that was in Deadpool.
Superhero landing.
But so she gets like these packages, like she has like a whole bunch of mail, and there's like this one package that you recognize from earlier in the movie with Yelena, and you're like, oh shit, but she's not opening it. And she's taking the drive because she needs to fill up some gas, and then that's when this villain comes in.
That's right.
Again, you're digging really deep for this one, but the Taskmaster comes in, and you're like, "What the fuck?" And it's giving her a hard time. I was a little bit pissed off about this part because I was like, "Hey, what the fuck?" She's a badass. How's she, kind of fucking losing this hard?
Yeah.
Until I saw, it was a robot. It wasn't a guy like I thought it was.
Right. And then the power kind of was that
suit
that tech tracks what you do.
It mirrors you.
It just
needs a few, I guess, analysis, and it'll pretty much,
It's kind of what Iron Man was doing with Cap when they fought or whatever, which was pretty cool too. But I thought it looked cool. It made Taskmaster look really cool.
Yeah, but again, you're like really pulling, like, golly.
Well, it's funny, right? Because you say that, and I would think so too, because I know of Taskmaster probably from a Marvel card or some shit. But for me, he came out a while back when the initial Spider-Man game came out on PS4.
Oh,
and I was playing through that one, and you do some side missions, and he's the one kind of like putting you through the paces.
Okay,
Taskmaster. Well, then shortly after that, I guess Fortnite thought the movie was going to premiere then, you know what I mean? Black Widow, they released Black Widow in the white outfit, and the other person you can get was Taskmaster, but they make him look like the comic one. So he's got the cape, and he's got the regular sword and the whole kind of skull face. And I was like, oh damn, this guy, just saw him in the Spider-Man game or whatever, which they made him look modernized in there.
Yeah.
And this version of the movie looked really great. It kind of reminded me of the Spider-Man game one, but I was like, oh, okay. Like for me, I'm like, oh, I've gotten like in the last year, a dose of Taskmaster. I'm like, all right, here you are. You know, but you're right, definitely from the Marvel, you know.
Yeah.
I'm sure the comics are probably shot up, right? Double A.
Yeah,
like,
they did.
You know,
they really did.
You want Taskmaster books now.
Yeah.
But and apparently in the comic, from what I understand, they even there was even eventually a female Taskmaster in the comics.
Yeah. So then, you know, that fight, you know, Taskmaster thinks he has the vials. He doesn't. Natasha still got him. You know, now she's on the run now from Roz, from, you know, Taskmaster. It's like two governments are after. Yeah. You know, and that's when she meets up with Yelena.
Yeah. What did you think about her watching Moonraker?
Oh, yeah, I was like, wow.
Was that a cool part for you? Yeah. I was like, see, I mean, like, you know, she's the Russian spy. It's against the. I've not seen that one. I'm not that familiar with it.
No, it's like Drax. He's like this fucking business owner that wants to create the perfect race in outer space. So he's kind of like on his own, but still funny. Still funny that she liked that movie.
Cool pool. And I won't lie, a lot of my knowledge is coming from, like, you know, in my research. Sometimes I'll watch other videos that mainly I watch these videos, guys, that like people do. I'll watch, like, it's just one I watch. I think it's called New Rock Stars, and it's wait, is that it? New Rock Star. I don't know. Anyway, I watch it because the guy's like all the Easter eggs you miss. So sometimes I like to see the Easter eggs that I miss because I watched it only once. Yeah. Well, a lot of this shit's not even Easter eggs because he just gives you a bunch of callbacky shit. Like, you know, see, I wouldn't have known that was Moonraker. I knew it was Bond, but I knew it because he said it. Okay. But the point being is that he was saying that there's a lot of elements of Moonraker in this movie, like the skydiving scene, the base in the sky.
Yeah, no shit.
You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, I wouldn't call that an Easter egg. To me, an Easter egg is like, you know, like, oh, they put like Stanley's birthday in the license plate. Yeah. Same here. But that's kind of cool though that someone breaks it down and gives you those references. So and it's, you know, like Double A said, it's kind of off to the races from there. There's no slow parts. It's a great action movie. It would have been a great summer popcorn movie. I would love to have seen it in theater.
Then they test each other out. You know, they finally confront each other. Natasha and Yelena. They have a really good little throwdown. You know, until they, you know, it seems like they're just testing each other. Pretty rough way until the Black Widow squad comes.
That's right.
And they start firing like all over on them, you know, and they're just trying to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
After that.
And they're both some major ass kickers, you know what I mean?
But all of them are. All the Black Widows are supposed to be.
I saw someone start the conversation, who would win, the Black Widows or the Dora Milaje?
Oh.
And I was like, ooh, that'd be a hell of a fight. I'd tell you that. I'd like to see that.
Damn.
But we'll leave that one for you, the Fright Nighters, to debate about. But so eventually they decide they got to go to the Red Room and they got to kill the fucking main asshole. I forget what his name is, and how are they going to find it? Well, they got to realize they got to get someone that knows where it's at, so they got to go bust out the old Red Guardian, from who's locked up.
Supposed to be super tight. They're supposed to be really, really tight at one point. You know, that was like his guy, you know.
And now what I didn't get Double A is like, how were they keeping him locked up when he was all superpowered and shit, you know?
You know what? I don't know. Maybe you know, Ray Winstone told him, you know, if you ever get out, you're gonna get fucking killed or something. Yeah. Obviously, we learned he had some tricks up his sleeve. Yeah. Later on that we find out. So maybe it was the same thing with the Red Guardian as well. Okay. Maybe he had some things going on, like maybe he fucking could detonate him from the inside out.
Inhibitors, something like that, for sure. How about that guy who arm wrestled the last guy's wrist?
Yeah, ooh.
He just cranks it.
Yeah, because he called him a liar. He said he didn't fight Captain America in 1983.
And this guy, you know, I love the movie accuracy, right? You know, he's getting tattooed while he's arm wrestling people, you know, to show he's a tough guy.
Now, that was one Easter egg I did see. That he has a tattoo of Natasha and Yelena's name.
I did not see that.
He does have a tattoo of their names right here.
How cool. Okay. That guy in the video I watched didn't mention that at all, but that's pretty badass. But so he's getting tattooed and he's arm wrestling guys. And
he's talking shit pretty much.
Yeah. Boasting. He's boasting about himself. He's probably the big shit there at the prison or whatever.
I would think so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's gonna mess with him?
And I thought I actually looked for it on him, because anytime I see tough guys in Russian prison movies, I always think about Eastern Promises, and they get the stars on their shoulders. That means you're like Russian mob, right? So the guy that sits down to arm wrestle him, he's fucking huge. He has him. I was like, oh shit, that guy had him. So then Red Guardian proceeds to fucking take out his aggression on him. And
he's just beating guys. He's just like boom, boom, boom. But this one pisses him off, and like Sam said, he breaks his fucking wrist.
Yeah, he treats his wrist like McGregor's leg the other night. And that's my guy too, man. But hey, fuck, man. He pull that out. But they get him out. Great action scene, right?
He has Mel scene. Mm-hmm. No, he has Mel, and he reads it, and the earpiece and everything,
and the toy.
Yeah,
the Red Guardian action figure.
Yes, and they bust him out.
Mm-hmm.
And great scene, like you said, very action packed again.
Yeah,
Scarlett Johansson.
That's where you get her in the white suit now.
Yeah.
They're in the snow, so you get to see that white suit that was all over the posters. She looks ultra hot. I mean, there's no doubt about that. And she's kicking ass. It's badass.
Yeah.
I mean, they get him out.
It's terrible because like Red Guardian's like so overweight now, and
like,
he can still move, he can still destroy things and jump, but it's like damn.
It's like a powerhouse.
You can tell there was a lot of anger in the talks.
Right.
They don't like this dude. They hate the Red Guardian.
Yeah. And too, I mean, it's like, you get the girls that are kind of like, you've got Natasha. It's really a story about family, really.
It really is.
So it's like, Yelena wanted this family. That's all she knew as a family. Natasha knew it was a lie, really wasn't kind of buying into it. Plus, she had a new family now, which is also broken. So it's like, wow, I'm dealing with one broken family. Now I'm dealing kind of with my other broken family. And then you've got, where do you kind of see Red Guardian and all that? Though he kind of did want that, or was it more to him like being back in action?
Both. I actually think because actually when I saw the tattoo again, I was like, oh wow, so
I got to go back and look for that. That's cool.
He did care for him, in some ways. But I mean, he was a super soldier. He didn't want to be lumped in that fucking mission. He's like, why are you putting me? It's like almost like First Avenger. Yeah. When they were sending Cap to all the fucking Broadways or whatever it was, singing to the troops and raising money. It was kind of like that. Like even Cap was like, I should be out there. I should be out there. I feel like a dancing monkey. You remember when he draws it?
The dancing monkey. Yeah, so, and that's pretty much what I guess you said. Red Guardian felt that way.
It's like a waste of potential. It's like, man, why are you sending me to do this when I could be doing this?
I'm undercover. I've got this power, and I've got a suit.
And I got to act like a dad. I got to act like an American dad with 2 kids. You know, like, come on. Man.
That's an interesting point. I didn't think about that. You know what I mean? But so what's up after that? That's kind of around when they get to Rachel Weisz's place.
Yeah,
right?
they talk some more, and you can just tell they really don't like each other. And,
I think he suggests going to her. He's like, I don't know, but
like she's fucking hilarious in that spot because he still thinks she's like, oh, my girls. Yeah. He's happy to see them.
Yeah, like we're back together again, the team, and they're like, man,
he wants to hug him. And he wants to hold your hand.
Because when the movie started, I thought they were his kids. I thought they were a real family. Yeah. But when he lets them get injected in the neck, I'm like, damn, man, like he just lets them take your kids. Like I thought you would fight for them or whatever.
And then you find out,
you realize, it's all just a setup. Like they're just all plants. You know what I mean?
He's all like, look at you. You reach your potential. You're here. Now you're an Avenger. And,
he's like, real like a proud dad.
Proud. Yeah, like he's proud. Like that's you see.
And she's kind of like, well, fuck you, man. Like, you gave us over to these people that. Oh well, she tells that story, right? More about they take our uterus. They take all of our. We're not able to have kids. Yeah, it's like pretty graphic. I was like, in fact, I thought that was a little kind of heavy for like not a kids movie, but I'm like, oof, this is dark. You know what I mean? Because that's part of what happened in the Red Room, the training, and when she tells that story, she doesn't go into detail with Bruce when they're in Infinity War, when they're at Hawkeye's place, but they're kind of have that moment, him and her, and she's like, well, I can't have him because she's like, things happen over there, when they're getting you ready, and she goes, it's less complicated. Yeah, and that part's pretty sad because you get where she's going, but in this one, it's like it's in the middle of an action sequence, and they just start telling him, they're like, no, we don't have any of that fucking insights. They take all that shit out of us.
Yeah, like something about like periods or something. He mentions like a period or something.
Right. He's like, is it your time of the month? Yeah. Which also I thought was a little bit, I was like, oh, that's kind of a got to be careful with that joke nowadays. You know what I mean? Like they made him, but maybe it was meant to kind of show like the sexist of him. You know what I mean?
Of course, he's from a time period that didn't respect any of that. So
Cold War, motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But So it's cool. So he says, I don't know where he's at. We got to go find who used to be the mom,
and they're
Rachel
kind of
Weisz.
surprised. They're like, "Oh, she's still alive."
Right.
And she let everything happen because it tells her that she's up top too. She's a real high-ranking official in this guy's regime. And she's kind of like the one that she's the architect. Yeah. Of this guy, he was the muscle, but she's the architect. She's the one that draws up everything.
She was like the brains of the family. Pretty much.
It's kind of like, oh shit, And you see her doing something with the pigs, talking with them and everything. But I didn't get it at first. Maybe I wasn't paying attention or whatever, But she sees them. Obviously, her farm is a pretty highly active farm, full of gear and everything. And she sees them, and they have a family reunion. Right.
They're at the dinner table. He goes to put on his suit.
Yeah, he's all happy. What the fuck? He's struggling to put it on.
Yeah.
He's just like really happy to be there again.
I love that scene they get to him like really squeezing into it. Like, and he's like, still fits,
And then she's like flirting with her again.
Yeah.
I've been in prison for a really long time.
And how about her? At the beginning of the movie, she looked fantastic, right? Like we remember her from The Mummy. Yeah. And I don't know if they de-aged her, that's how she just normally looks, but they did make her look a little bit older when they got to the future scenes. Yeah. But she still looked great. Rachel Weisz.
She did. I didn't like that hairstyle she had at first.
Yeah.
Until she let her hair down. I was like, okay, there she is.
From The Mummy. You know what I mean? And she's obviously
she's great too.
Great,
just super awesome actress. She knows what to do.
How'd you feel about the accents? I didn't feel like anybody missed a beat. I thought it was all fine.
It was great. It was just it sounded weird because Natasha was the only one that wasn't doing it.
Right.
But I thought it was great. That was a really good scene. Yelena getting really pissed off. And
I liked how she was too. Like some people might have thought maybe she was whining, but I thought it was good because she was like, "No, you don't get it. You were all I knew. Yeah, you're all I knew as what a family was. You know what I mean?" So. And then drinking the vodka, obviously, and you kind of learn too that Rachel Weisz is doing a lot of the mind control shit because she controls the pigs. She tells one of the pigs to
so you're kind
stop
of like,
breathing, and it does.
So you're like, holy shit! So she really is a big time player in this dude's whole operation.
Totally. Guys, we're right up against our next break. We see some comments here in the queue. We want to hear what you guys thought about the Black Widow. Probably go a little bit more into it just to get us to the end of the next block. But we want to hear what you guys have to say about the Black Widow right after this. We'll be right back. All right, guys, if you're joining us Facebook Live, we didn't go anywhere. We're still here hanging out with you. That's why we're sitting in the red room ourselves. I got my red room t-shirt, which actually it says the red rooms. The bottom says the red room's spicy sauce. This is from Box Lunch. My girl got me that. Yeah. They have a whole collection of Marvel shirts that are like based around food, which I don't really totally get, but let's check the comments, Double A. Tell me what we got going on in
right
here.
There, right
okay,
right there.
All right.
Joe. I went to Black Widow with zero info about the background, but I did love it.
Okay.
Great. He says Yelena was probably his favorite.
Yeah.
Jason says I was looking at the news about Gabriel Iglesias has COVID-19. He was supposed to be here, supposed to do some shows, and he got COVID. So that shit is rising up more and more. So.
Well, I just read about something, Jason in LA. You see, Friday Night or Mario posted that in our personal group, and he was stating that they're now requiring again out at public places masks are being required again in Los Angeles.
Some people are saying that with the way it's going, it's 2021, 2022 make it look like 2020 again. So.
Yeah, and you know what sucks? Like for instance, guys, I can tell you for a fact, I work with two people that I know. They have told me that they're not vaccinated and they are not wearing their masks, even though work says
I'm still
wearing your mask.
And I'm still wearing it.
I am too.
I'm still wearing it. I'm not gonna take a chance.
It seemed like the first people to take off their masks were the people that weren't vaccinated, and it's like again, we don't get political here, but
no, it's not. But I did think we dropped the mask law too soon. So
I just read a sign today. It said unvaccinated guests. We recommend that you wear a mask. Yeah. It's like, okay, well, you would hope that if you're unvaccinated, you would honor that request and wear your mask. Look, but I've seen is unvaccinated people that are vocal about being unvaccinated.
Look, I just don't want to go back to 2020. It's not about being political. I don't want to go back to 2020.
Hey, you know what, guys? You want to go back into quarantine? It helps our numbers. We'll be right here with you on Friday night. But yeah, it did suck.
Fucking hard.
It did suck. We're just getting back to normal. You know what I mean? So what a shame about
please
that.
Do your part.
We'll pray for Fluffy. I hope he gets better, man.
Yeah. Let me see. Joe says when they had her at the end, it's going a different way with the They had her.
Elena was in a team with. Excuse me. Elena was in a team with Friday Night's own U.S. agent John Walker. Yeah, I know. I thought John Walker, we were going to get him here for the 4th of July, but we didn't manage to get him. But yeah, Joe, tell us about the other comment. Oh, the way the end, it's going a different way, meaning it's going. Oh, you think Elena's going to go with kind of like a John Walker? Oh, I get. I could kind of see where maybe we're going. I did hear something about this, another kind of like fan theory, whatever, like Thunderbolt Ross. The Thunderbolts.
That's right. The Thunderbolts.
So it could be maybe we get we get one team and one team, and that would be a neat. I think that'd be neat. You build up a dark team.
Well, that's kind of like what X-Force was always supposed to be about with X-Men. X-Force were always supposed to be a little bit more militant. So
okay. Let's see what else we got here.
New Rockstars is pretty good. It's a spy movie. You got to homage the best.
Yes, totally. The king of the spy movies is Bond.
He liked Yelena mimicking the landing. That was funny.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
The 2 times she did do it, that was fucking funny. The whole pretending to be a family and then separate as soon as you're back, and the youngest had no clue was tough.
Yeah, man, that is tough. Like you're just like, man, these guys were pretty ruthless to not even, I mean, what do you do? Hey, how about the opening? The female version of Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Oh yeah, I know.
That was pretty like badass.
Yeah, my wife was like, "Is that Nirvana?" I was like, "Yeah," but it's like really, really slow.
Really slow. Yeah. Did they play more Nirvana later? I think they did, didn't they?
I don't know, but I know Captain Marvel had it, so this is like the second movie.
Yeah.
That's
and some No Doubt in Captain Marvel.
Yeah, because they were both in the 90s.
The 90s, yeah. Yes. So they both that kind of works. You know what I mean? But I really like how they put it against that female version against them training and all that. I was like, oh, it does give you kind of a vibe to it. So
Joseph's darkest movie, Marvel movie yet?
This one? Oh no, I don't think I wouldn't say this one for me. Maybe
Infinity War?
You don't get darker than Infinity War, man. I mean, that's
with all of them dying.
Fucking brutal. I mean,
people were like really upset.
That is the true Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, people are really upset in the theater when they saw a lot of them dying.
Yeah, I mean, the whole Peter Parker thing is just gut wrenching. I don't really. I try to avoid that scene if I can. I'm just like, oh man, you know what I mean? I need to channel that scene sometimes when I'm trying to, get a vibe going. But yeah, what do you think, Joe? Was it the darkest one yet? Anyone else out there? Any other Friday Nighters? Was this was Black Widow a dark Marvel movie for you? Have you seen it yet? Joe obviously has, but who else out there got a chance to watch the Black Widow? And how did you watch it? Joe, did you order it on Disney Premiere, or did you go to the movie theater? If I see, now that my family has seen it, they won't want to go to the movie theater to watch it, but I would still go watch it in the movie theater. Okay. And I would pay gladly because I thought it was a really, really fun and good action movie. And I think I cheated myself. I told Double A this. I cheated myself watching it at home because the explosions, the action, the bigness of it, I would have really enjoyed it. And it's Marvel's comeback movie because we haven't had a Marvel movie in a couple of years. No. So let's get back into the recording, Double A. Guys, if you heard a quick blip and a drop there, that's just because we go to our break every 30 minutes to read comments from you, the Friday Night Faithful. And we had some good stuff in there from Friday Nighter Joe regarding the Black Widow, which is one part of our topic tonight and what we're talking about. Tell us again what you thought or whatever. Joe said he did not see it in theater. Is that right, Dolan?
Yeah, he said no theater yet.
No theater yet. Okay. And the Force Hysterectomy, that part was very dark. Joe, indeed, great comment.
City Bay Cinema has like this really cool looking Black Widow drink. It's like black vodka with like I forgot something. It looked pretty cool.
Oh, I like how they incorporated vodka, like make it more Black Widow. I'd be interested to go try. Go have one now that I'm having some. So pretty fast from there, right? The way they get from the farm to
so they're all having like a moment, and then that's when Rachel Weisz's characters
she tells him I called the Red Room. Which at that moment I was kind of like, what a bitch, like what the fuck, he just
kind of like
turned on them.
So it's like we gotta go, but they catch him, and I was laughing again because like Ray Gardner is like standing all tough and everything, he's got a helmet on and they shoot at Darty. He takes off and then you just see like 20 more come.
I think he said it's going to take more than that to stop me, and then just fill him up with darts.
Yeah, they shot his ass up big time with darts, and then he's all.
And that's kind of like a good like comedic beat, right? Like it's like, okay, that's pretty good, you know what I mean? And then I think
super good at that. Every time you think it's going to be like an intense moment, they always throw in like a little comedic, little flavor there.
Yeah. And I think right after that is when Elena goes to go look for Natasha, and she's out cold on the floor.
Yes.
And they get them at that point, right? They get them at that point. which to me is always like, hey, good guy that's looking for the bad guy. You want to go where they're at, just get caught. That's the best way to go where they're at. And that's when we see the bases in the sky.
I was like, holy shit, they have their own shield.
Yeah,
I was like,
their own kind of helicarrier up there. And Rachel Weisz tells him, this is how he always kept
out of sight,
one step away, is that he was, able to be on the move.
Yeah.
So they get there, they get to the super high tech red room, and this is where we're seeing where the Black Widows are made to be the most like ultimate badass killing machines, and they're there, and then I kind of forget what happens next.
Then you kind of see they're in prison.
Mm-hmm.
The Red Guardian, Natasha.
That's right. And
then she takes off her mask.
Yes.
And it's fucking Rachel Weisz's character.
And at that point, we see that the main guy, I forget what his name
was.
Ray Winstone.
Yeah.
But, the actor, but from Departed. Is Frenchie in The Departed. Yeah. So Frenchie's pretty much telling her, he's looking at, and he's like, he thinks he's looking at Rachel Weisz, but he's like, I know your eyes. I've raised you. And then,
and he presses something like on the side.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't know, like a image,
Yeah, that's right. But they're wearing those kind of classic. She wore that in one of the other movies.
Yes, she did.
And then also Sharon Carter wore it in Falcon and Winter Soldier. So that's kind of neat.
That's right.
That tech is existing.
That's
what
right.
I mean?
That's right.
So then that she proceeds to tell him, okay, she's gonna. You kind of get the impression here she's going to get the villain to reveal his master plan, which in a sense he kind of does.
He does, because he pretty much says he has everyone under control, and they're going to tear up some shit,
Yeah. So a cool thing I saw in the new Rockstars thing was that he brings in the Taskmaster, and that we find out it's his daughter who got blown up.
Yeah, which was pretty. That was a pretty dark moment.
Yeah.
When they show the flashback of Natasha actually blowing it.
It was like a cold-blooded killing of like a little girl.
Because we kind of find out a little bit about Budapest. About how she
Budapest.
Yeah, if you want to say it like that. We find out what she had to do in order to gain entry into America and to get on like a clear record with America.
And was to kill him. The guy.
Yeah.
Frenchie.
Man, she says it was just intense. It was her and Clint. 10 days they were on the run.
Yeah.
Just after the blow up, after they blew up the daughter, it's just like, golly.
And this is neat because they talk about this in Avengers.
Bad. It sounds really bad. Yeah, you see kind of clips of them fighting over there,
Yeah.
It's just like, ooh.
Yeah, and they remember in the Avengers they reference that. They're like, man, this is worse than Budapest, right? Yeah. And you're like, okay, that's this. Now she's talking about what happened there.
Yeah.
And another thing I heard is that Loki references this also, I think, in Age of Ultron, when she tells him she wants to get the red out of her ledger, and he goes, can you get that much red? And he mentions that whatever Frenchie's name is, he's like, oh, even his daughter. So I'm like, wow, they tied up, classic Marvel, right? Tying up all the loose ends, everything that was kind of talked about gets re-referenced and made sense of there. So he's got like a personal kind of grudge against her, you know what I mean? But also, he doesn't really give a fuck about these girls at all. No. It's all about his kind of ultimate plan to be how he shows her they're all over the world, you know what I mean? And he's got like, I don't know.
What do you think of the scene? I thought it was a little bit long.
Yeah, I could see that.
Right.
I mean, like, I didn't feel like it was overly long. I think there may have been some. It was okay. I just thought it was okay. It was fine. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, okay, we're getting. It felt very like just. I wouldn't say long. We just expected. Like, all right. I feel like I've seen kind of this a little bit before, whatever. But it's fine because it feels like it's doing it in that style. You know what I mean?
What I liked about Winter Soldier is that it felt like a really good spy movie,
right?
And I thought that kind of trailed off here, a little bit in Black Widow, where it was like that, and then I thought this part kind of,
I got you,
lessened it for me a little.
I got you. This one felt more like actiony, and I always think of Winter Soldier as almost like an espionage film.
That's what I mean. I thought this was going to be kind of like that, almost.
Right? And I think they kind of could have done that, but it was more like maybe like homage, just like Joe said earlier, more that sense than it was actually a straight up spy movie. So because there was no like, what's the goat that you're trying to get? There was spy elements, but it was always the So clearly, guys, fighting ensues, right? Double A and
yeah. They you find out there's no will that can hurt him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's almost kind of like RoboCop.
Mm-hmm.
He puts like something about, you know, if they smell him,
yeah, his
they can't hurt
pheromones.
him.
Yeah, Directive 4. Prime
Yeah.
Directive 4.
Yeah.
RoboCop.
So
Yeah,
she's
so she's literally trying to stab him. She's trying to
after all that doesn't work. You know, she tries pissing him off, and he's punching her, and I was like, oh, he's trying to make her, like, you know, she's trying to make him break her nose. I was like, how come he's not fucking thinking about that? You know?
Yeah.
And
I love how she eggs him on, especially on the ground. She's like, wow, you really can't hit. Like you're so weak.
But that part that she does to herself, I was oh, that's fucking nasty.
Yeah.
She rams her face into the
table, the desk. Yeah.
She breaks her own nose. And that's how she's able to finally get him.
Total badass. Yeah. So once she can't smell him, she's able to fuck him up. Deservedly so. And then we get who mixes it up in a little bit with the
Taskmaster and Red Guardian are going at it.
They go at it, which is a cool fight. It's a pretty good fight. He gets to kind of flex a little bit there, and he gets to, you know, the shield. You know, in this one, Taskmaster did have kind of like a sword, but also the shield.
They had like almost everyone somehow. I don't know how he was able to get footage of the Avengers, I guess. Mm-hmm. I don't know. But the shield, the arrows. I mean, it was like everything. Yeah,
the Taskmaster was pretty badass actually in this one. I mean, I was like, okay, cool. Yeah. So then that they go at it, and then
you know, somehow the Taskmaster reappears.
Yeah, and he gets to fight one-on-one with Natasha.
Trying to, you know,
they're on the ground now at this point. They're out of the air. They blow up the fucking thing. Yelena helps blow up the fucking carrier, so it's coming out of the sky, and then on the ground, Natasha, I don't want to call her Black Widow because there was a bunch of Black Widows. Her and Taskmaster go at it or whatever, and of course they're matched because he can match her, but she does that really cool move where she does the superhero landing right onto the antidote, which she sees that has landed amongst them, and right at that moment it opens up the mask and she fucking she comes back into her senses, the daughter of
for a little bit.
Right.
Oh, no. Okay, they take her away. I forgot.
Yeah, they take her away after that. So I mean, at that point that's pretty much like at the end.
Yeah, it pretty much is. And, you know, like, so everyone, you know, they destroyed it, you know, they go home or they go somewhere. They're taking the Black Widows and somewhere. I don't know what they're going to be doing.
Right. Now. We kind of missed the kind of cool scene earlier too, where Yelena is wearing that cool vest, which if you know, I didn't recognize it, but later on I saw a video like, oh, that's the vest that you know, Natasha's wearing in Endgame, which they do show by the end of the movie. They show her, she eventually does dye her hair blonde, and she becomes the Black Widow that we know from Endgame, and she's wearing the vest of Yelena. So it's like, oh, that's even like a small call. Like they included that to show how she got that. You know what I mean? But the kind of family kind of makes up. You know what I mean?
But it's like that's why it kind of makes me kind of like sad. You know, because it's like she finally reunited. They're on good terms. Yeah. And then you see the next scene when she's going back. She's gonna go back to Cap and Hawkeye and Sam and
bust them out of the raft.
But then the next scene, it's you know, Yelena visiting her tombstone.
Right.
And I was kind of like, oh man, that's kind of what made me kind of like, I was like, oh, you know, that kind of sucks. You know, because she's gone.
That's pretty much the end credit scene.
That is
pretty much. Yeah. So you see the grave, and it's kind of by a tree. They don't say where it's at, but I would assume like Ohio, because that was kind of where they remembered being a kind of a home for them.
You know what? Yeah.
You know, but it looks like people know that it's there because there's like things around it, flowers, and like, you know, obviously, and it even says on her grave Avenger, so that's pretty cool. Now I would have thought there would have been like a statue. It was a pretty basic tombstone.
Unless Tony does have one somewhere, you know.
Yeah, but it was pretty neat. So she's there visiting her sister, and then spoiler alert, huge spoiler alert, guys! If you have not seen the Black Widow, don't listen to this next part. We're gonna give you 3, 2, 1. But who appears AA? But
well, Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character from Falcon and Winter Soldier, the one who makes
Vanessa
John Walker,
Contessa, whatever
the one
it
that
is.
makes John Walker U.S. agent,
Right.
You know?
Right.
And
so,
it says that, they're going to need more than Captain America,
yeah.
coming up.
So kind of like, Friday Night or
So-
Joe theorized in the comments during the break, but like, could this be the beginnings of the creation of another
And obviously
team?
she has been working for her.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
she tells her not to bother her.
On her off time.
Yeah. So she's already been working with her. And then, she's like, how would you like to get the man responsible for your sister's death? And it shows Hawkeye.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of like, whoa. First off, I was like, how did they even find out about that?
Yeah, because that occurred like off planet.
Yeah.
And like, I don't think that they're just boasting about everything they had to do.
Yeah.
Like, oh, hey, by the way, I let Natasha fall to her death so I could get the fucking soul stone. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, what? Like, we don't need to, that doesn't need public knowledge. We would just say she died, because of Thanos or whatever.
So I don't know if that's going to go into maybe Hawkeye series or not. I don't know.
Which we're getting pretty soon, I hear, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be sooner than we thought. So, really cool end credit scene. I didn't expect to see Julia Louis-Dreyfus, I think they call her Lady Hydra in the they say in the comics.
Yeah, I didn't either. I was surprised.
That was fine. I thought it was a good end credit. There was no second end credit scene, was there?
No.
Okay, if anybody saw a second end credit scene, let me know. But okay, so you check that. But yeah, great movie. It was tight. It was fun. It was action packed. I mean, like I had nothing negative to say about it. You know what I mean? It was all good to me.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah. So, I mean, again, what did you guys think about the Black Widow? Did you enjoy it? Was it fun for you? Would you watch it again? Would you watch it in theater? If you did watch it in theater, would you watch it at home? Would you pay $30 for it? I paid $30 for it. I was completely fine with it. I watched it with 4 or 5 of my family members. And then my dad got to see it too. So it was like, we all got to see it. You know what I mean? So it was kind of worth it. And I would, again, still go to watch it in theater. If somebody wanted to go to the movie theater and watch it, I'd pay for it. I'd buy popcorn and I'd wear this shirt again. And I'd have a great time because it was good. And when now that I bought it on Premiere, it's like Disney says you own it as long as you have their subscription.
Yeah.
So.
And then they'll just add it into the movies like later down the year. So
yeah. So very cool. Yeah. Any final thoughts on it for you, Double A?
That's just a really good movie. Sucks that she's dead.
Yeah.
So we can't get any more movies. So.
I know. I love Scarlett Johansson as the Black Widow.
I do too.
Awesome character. Made me a fan of the character. My girlfriend actually carries a Black Widow purse. It says the comic book version, Sting of the Black Widow. It's got the classic one on there. I bought her that purse because I was like, this is fucking badass, and she's a badass. And I love that costume by the end because she's got the big kind of gauntlets. They made her look more like the comic book version of the costume. And I just saw that the guy that we had talked about from WandaVision that designed Wanda's costume throughout the years, he designed all of Black Widow's throughout. Okay. And he said this was his final culmination shoot, and he was really excited for people to see it. So it's pretty cool to follow that costumer. He's on Instagram and stuff like that. But very, very cool. Very, very cool. So what do you think, Double A? Want to move right into the next part?
Let's go right into the next one.
Let's switch gears here, guys. Obviously, our title tells a story, and Double A's shirt tells a story. But I've got to also tell a story with my shirt. So Double A, lead us in.
Yeah. So this was the fourth one, third one, right? Third show, right?
We have WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, and
then this one. Okay, so this was our third show. This is the one I was really looking forward to. I love Loki. I'm a huge Loki fan. I think top 5 Marvel villain for sure, even before the movies came out.
Oh yeah.
This one was really interesting because, at Avengers. Avengers Endgame, they show him getting the Tesseract and disappearing, and they never really kind of mention him again. It's kind of like, where the fuck did he go? Like Loki's loose somewhere, and they really don't address it at all in Endgame.
And this is like after
Iron Man doesn't say, "Oh, by the way, Loki disappeared."
Right. And after we have the set, because I would say that we're 100% agreeing to that. We fucking love Tom Hiddleston as Loki.
Oh yeah,
man is killing it. But we get his fucking sad death like right at the beginning, and I was like, man, no, like you're gonna kill someone, you fucking kill him. Like I'm like, oh, come on now.
But then it was kind of like when they brought him back, when
you were like, time, right on.
I was like, holy shit, he's gonna be alive again.
Yeah.
And this show went somewhere where I didn't expect it to go at all. It's completely blew my mind. I don't know. I didn't think it was gonna go here. I thought it was gonna be like adventures.
Yeah.
In time.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was going to lead directly to this explosion that happened at the end.
Yeah. Well, again, I mean, like, this is what I love. It's almost like Falcon and Winter Soldier and the Black Widow are leading one direction, and then we've got WandaVision and now Loki are leading us in the other direction.
A bigger one.
It's going to converge, definitely. But number one, okay, whoever did the score, I haven't liked the score this much since The Mandalorian. I fucking love the music in Loki, that opening music.
Yeah, it is.
And then great. I love the title card too. It's so fucking fun. When you get him right away you get the lead in with the Avengers. When you get to the TVA, the Time Variance Authority. When you get there, I loved the look, like this 60s vibe, like an office. Yes. I as you guys probably might know this, but I work in offices, so it's like, not to say that I love cubicle life, I don't, but if you want to paint a better picture of like a fucking totalitarian bureaucracy, I'm like, oh, look at these. But again, I can't help but feel for those people,
Again, it went somewhere where I didn't think. I was like, wow, this is somewhere outside of time. I don't know nothing. Apparently the TVA has been around in the comics for a long time. It's like issues that I've skipped over like everywhere. Like in Thor Avengers, I've just always skipped over apparently. And so this was like something like really unique. I was like, holy shit, this is really cool. Yeah. Like it blew my mind right away. They capture him real quick. He lands somewhere, they capture him, they take him to the TVA. He's like, what the hell is this? They put on what did they put on the neck thing?
Some type of like a power inhibitor,
and
or
he
something
can't
like
use
that.
His powers, and then he's like, what the hell is this? He's like, yeah, we're outside of time, and here's everything you've ever said. Sign it, please. And he's like, what the hell? He can't believe it. He can't, like, it's almost like he can't fathom what the hell is going on. Right. He's a god. He's an Asgard. Like, he thought that was it. Like, Asgard and then everyone else is here.
Yeah. I mean,
he didn't think there was anyone above Asgard.
That. Yeah. He gets captured pretty much with the Tesseract, and he's like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just here, and it's like, who are these people? I've never seen them, and like they've got power, obviously, and especially over him, who is, god level powers.
Like one of the most dangerous beings in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, and here you have him from one point to the next. All in episode 1, they strip him down. They make him sign this paperwork, and he has to stand before, and kind of answer for these quote unquote crimes, which he didn't really know.
Against time.
Crimes against time, which he didn't really know he'd committed.
And then we find out what happens when you don't really comply. He tells him grab a ticket. And he's like, there's no one there. And you see another guy that refused to grab a ticket. He gets like, it looks like disintegrating. Yeah. And he grabs the ticket right away. He's like, holy shit.
Some of those guys in the TVA throughout the series AA, I was like, what fucking Nexus event did you do? Like, I'm like,
that's what I was wondering too, actually. Later
you
on.
Did a Nexus event? You look like a fucking some type of Wall Street guy or something. What I mean? But apparently there's a lot of ways to be guilty of a Nexus event. And I think in this first episode, we get kind of that explanation a little bit. Yeah.
When he's watching the TV.
Right. And we meet Miss Minutes, who's voiced by Tara Strong, who is the voice of Batgirl from the old Batman the Animated Series, and who I found out through Instagram is also incredibly smoking fucking hot. I'm like, oh, wow. Normally I think voice actresses, I think of like, Nancy Cartwright, Yeardley Smith from The Simpsons, whatever. And I see this gal and I'm like, oh, wow, she's a real knockout. Tara Strong, and she does a great job as Miss Minutes. Is a neat looking character, right? Very like reminds you of like the old concession, she's a clock, and I love the part where Loki's like, "Are you real?" And she's like, he's like, or are you
like made up? Or
and she's like, no, a little bit of both. And he starts like swat at her. She's like, stop it! What are you doing? Like, and she's jumping around. It's just like a weird. Like everything in the TV is so fucking weird. Like you're like, what the fuck, whatever,
Yeah, and then he's about to kind of get judged, and then that's when Owen Wilson comes in. Mobius, and Mobius,
Agent Mobius. Yeah, man. Now, AA. Do you know anything about? Is that name
He's a character too, which I found out. Okay. He is a character in the comics, and I was just like, wow, okay.
So there was an actual Marvel artist, Mobius, and then there was a character they named
Mobius. And I was like,
it is a cool name.
Like, again, we're like Marvel is like really digging deep for these fucking characters.
We thought we knew deep, but we didn't know. We didn't know shit. You know what I mean? This is way deep. So
I was like, wow, like I'm telling you, like. the runs I have, it's like I have runs and then it skips over the TVA stuff, and then I'm going like over here.
Yeah,
you know, I skipped over every character there was on the TVA.
It's that Marvel machine, man, that has the ability to make the uncool cool. I mean, like even for comic book
blew
guys,
up again,
yeah,
too,
yeah,
for his portrayal.
Oh, I mean, he was fantastic.
He was,
as
but it's
Agent
like,
Mobius.
man, even that kind of character, like he made someone like that character that people cared about, you know?
Yeah.
So,
and how about the mystery at the end of episode 1 AA, where it's like, the person we're hunting is you. You know what I mean? And you're like, what?
and see, that's why I thought it was kind of going to go after that. I thought it was going to become like, okay, we're chasing you. We're going to go through these kind of like adventures by fixing timelines, you know?
Yes.
Here and there. I didn't know it was going to go where it went.
You had done more plot development than even I had, because I was like, when they had first showed him in kind of like this suit and then in like that prison jumper, and then they had said, somebody was like, oh, there's a clock behind him in the poster, it's going to be about time travel. I was like, I still don't know what the fuck to expect from this show. So I was just along for the ride. I was pleasantly pleased. I'm enjoying the acting of Tom Hiddleston. I'm enjoying the acting of Owen Wilson. I'm just like, oh, this is already like fun. You know what I mean? Like right away they have this good chemistry.
Yeah, and then he shows him, his future. And Loki kind of looks down like, holy shit.
I had to admit, man, the parts where he's showing him his mom, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what happened, kind of the events of Dark World.
Yes.
Dark World,
yes.
Which this movie, I think, probably get people a little bit, maybe go look at that movie because people don't like it and don't revisit it. I like it. But a lot of the stuff that gets shown to him there, to this version of Loki, the 2012 Loki,
it's from that one.
It's from that one. And he's like, no, this is lies. Yeah, this hasn't even happened. And he's like, yeah, it hasn't happened yet. You know what I mean?
And so he's kind of like, he's starting to believe it, because I think what other gets him too is like he gets out of that room and he goes back to that office and he sees the Infinity Stones and he's like, where'd you get these? He's like, oh, those stones? Oh, we have a lot of them here. We use them as paperweights.
It's just a drawer full of them.
Because he finds out the Tesseract doesn't work. He's holding it just doesn't work. And
so AA, let's I wanted to talk about this with you a little bit. So
I started laughing hard.
What do you think that means? Because some people were upset because they were
very upset. People were really upset.
Well, I have to admit, it does give it a very like Emperor Palpatine is still alive vibe. Like it's like, what the fuck? Like, well, everyone sacrifices for nothing, or
no,
what?
I was fine with it because again, we're outside of time, we're outside of everything. That shit doesn't work. They even kind of do that in the crossover Marvel versus DC. Darkseid actually does have the Infinity Gauntlet, and it doesn't work in the DC universe. It's like, and so he goes, it's meaningless, and he just throws it on the ground.
That's right.
The same thing here. They're outside of time. They're outside of everything.
So if you possess the Time Stone, can you go outside of time?
Apparently, it doesn't work there. No, it doesn't work there because they're outside of time. It doesn't work there.
How do you get outside of time?
No, exactly. That's where we kind of find out what happens.
We need the TVA to come get us or some shit.
So it doesn't work. That shit does not work there. And I was like, I thought people kind of took it too hard. I was like, remember, this is fiction. This is comic books. Remember that? I was like, golly.
Yeah, I know. But I know how you feel some kind of way about the new trilogy. And there is a lot of shit wrong with it. We still haven't done that episode yet, Star Wars wise. But it was like, there was something to what people said to me where I'm like, really? Still with Palpatine? I'm like, it just makes Vader's throwing him into the fucking thing to blow up kind of meaningless. I'm like, I don't like that. I hate that. That fucks up the other ones. Like, you're fucking up the other ones. So to me, I'm like,
they're going into all these timelines and pulling people away from them.
Right.
So why couldn't it work there too? Because they're outside.
Yeah.
Somehow they figured out how to be outside of time where nothing really works. That works there, but it doesn't work here.
The timekeepers figured it out. Yeah. The lizards, 3 magical lizards, he says.
So, this first episode, I was blown away. I was like, wow, the Tesseract doesn't work. The gauntlets doesn't work. They have a way to suppress your powers where even Loki can't hurt anyone. They're showing him the whole future. They paperwork this big of everything he's ever said. Yeah. I was like, wow.
Just the fact that the whole place,
that place works.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. The fact that it's this whole big, like, again, like a bureaucracy, like an office, it's like a boring ass, you know, they're doing paperwork. In fact, when that guy prints him the things he's saying, it's like on the old like dot matrix printer.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? Who uses that?
I started laughing at that too.
Yeah, the computers. I even saw in one of the Easter egg videos that I told you guys I watch sometimes to get ready for the shows is Owen Wilson is like drinking like old drinks from like the 90s and shit. I didn't pick up on that. And I was like, when I was rewatching, I was like, oh wow, what the fuck? Like
we figured that out pretty quick that he had to have been a guy from the 90s that loved the beach.
Okay.
So we figured that out.
The love for jet skis and stuff like that. So
so we're kind of assuming, we assume that's what he was.
Yeah.
You know, so
I liked too how there's a lot of exchange with him and Loki about, you know, things like when he's like, okay, so you take over, then what?
Yeah.
Which is like the classic thing, right? Oh, the bad guy wants to take over the world. Okay, then what do you do? And then he's like, well, you know, then Asgard. He's like, okay, and then what? And he's like, well, the 9 realms. Okay, what about next? Space? The king of space would be pretty cool, right? And he's kind of like, oh, you're mocking me, which is kind of at that moment too, like, you know, here you have the arrogant fucking, you know, Loki being Loki, and it's like he's kind of breaking that down or whatever. And man, it really gave us a chance to see Tom Hiddleston as Loki, but this other side, like using the cunning and you know, God of Mischief is kind of like, you know, what, you know what I mean? And he tells him, he's like, you don't really seem very mischievous. You just seem like, you know, you like hurting people. Like, do you enjoy that or whatever? And he's showing him, you know, when he kills Coulson and he, you know, I love the part when
a lot of people in the back.
Yeah, he's like 50 times, and then he's like, oh, I won't anymore. You know what I mean? He's like, it's old now, you know? So it's like, I love that it's kind of a matching of wits as well, you know what I mean? Because it also, to me, is making Loki grow and show the potential and be like, hey, you're, you know, he even tells him, he goes, man, isn't ruling kind of small, you know what I mean? Like for someone like you. And you're like, okay. And then I love when Loki kind of gets on board eventually when he's trying to figure out where the variant's at. And he's like, he tells him, he goes, you know, you're right. You can't trust me, but you know that I love to be right. And it's like, he's like, okay, I'll bite on that. I get that or whatever. But of course, you know, episode 2, we go to like a Renaissance fair, right? And they're looking for the they find out they're looking for
it pops up. Yeah.
They find out they're looking for a Loki variant. That's the kind of the quest.
He's going. This variant is actually picks up, you know, one of their main hunters.
Right.
You know,
and she's been killing the TVA agents.
Well, we don't know that yet.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. So we're just assuming this Loki variant trying, you know, like again, she got one of their best hunters, and you know, this Loki variant killed or is kidnapping her.
Right.
To find out what she knows. Yeah.
And guys, and we're going to talk more Loki in just a second. First, let's take a look at the comments, see what you guys have to say. Again, if you want to hear all the comments that we read, check us out on Facebook Live or YouTube. Search Just Another Friday Night, and we'll tell you, you can see all the comments there. All right, guys. Sorry about the I'm trying to get us off we kind of did it in the middle of the block, right? We switched from Black Widow to Loki in the middle. So let's check out the comments. Don't let you hanging in there with me.
Yeah,
I know. I know. Me too. I'm feeling it a little bit too. The stuffiness, guys. Sorry about that. Let me see here. Are we at the top? Ready to go up?
Go up a little bit. Oh no, right there.
Okay.
Joe says Natasha also did the same thing she did with Loki and the Avengers, where she got him to tell her his plan.
That's right. Yeah. Speaking of the two,
you realize that's the last time she sees them. She's been confirmed for Hawkeye. Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, badass.
Okay.
All right then. That's Florence Pugh.
Yeah, I wish we would have gotten a few cameos in
Black Widow. Joe, you mean in Black Widow,
or maybe Florence?
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Okay, that'd be cool.
He liked the switch to the green light.
Oh, thank you.
Owen Wilson was great.
Yes,
and he really liked that he had that
The DB Cooper part. Oh
yeah.
gosh, that was great.
Man,
that was so fucking cool. You know what?
And I was on a dare.
I wasn't familiar with that story, so I had to go look it up. That was a real. I think me and you talked about it off camera, and you were kind of filling me in. I went to go look it up, and I was like, "Holy shit, that was fucking real!" And didn't he look dashing? Right?
It's still one of the great mysteries.
Yeah.
What the hell happened there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So crazy. What else does Joe say here? Let me see.
That was it.
Oh, that was it.
The quantum realm is outside of time as well. Yeah, they kind of mentioned that too. Remember, Ant-Man, he kind of describes what it's like in there.
That's right. Kind of like that's different. Right. That's a good
because the
good
gauntlet
point.
didn't work there either.
Yeah,
remember?
He didn't snap out of. Yeah, good pickup, Joe. I should forget about that. The quantum realm, definitely. He says, like Tony Stark or Cap, considering they were alive. Right. You mean from give me some more info on that one, Joe. We were talking about regarding Captain America. I did not. I was not familiar with the DB Cooper thing, so that was pretty cool. It may have been something that I heard about or read about at one time, and then it just like left my memory. So, but looking it up afterwards made it equally as fun. So it's a great, part there. I love when Mobius is like, wait, this is the best part or whatever. Loki's quick to defend himself. So, yeah, guys, we're talking Loki now. We went from the Black Widow to Loki. We've never done this in an episode before where we kind of switch gears midway, but hang in there with us because this is a fun ride. And didn't you feel like it got there fast, right? Double A, like it just went. We got right into it. It didn't. There was no time wasted in Loki. I thought that it was just good like that.
I thought one episode was, but we'll get to that one.
Yeah, and Captain America or Tony Stark and Black Widow, that would have been great. Joe,
but I guess they want to do that fucking contract shit. So
yeah, you don't want to, and also be like leading us, hope with hope. You know what I mean? But yeah, it definitely would have been cool. You know what? It might have been a good place, and I feel like there's still a section of uncharted Black Widow territory. You could get that Cap and Wolverine them, like if you want to bring Hugh Jackman in, like where everyone's saying, I mean, you could definitely insert it there. I think that'd be a great place to do it. Let's bring back to the recording part. We keep talking Loki with you guys right now. Guys, if you're hanging out, we read a few comments there during the break. Good stuff from Friday Nighter Joe saying he wished he would have seen a few more cameos in Black Widow, like Captain America or Tony Stark. And I myself thought maybe that would have been a good place to insert Wolverine and get him into kind of the whole spy espionage stuff like that. But we've switched gears from the Black Widow. We are now engaged in our glorious purpose, talking about Loki. Double A, what's going on next for you in the show at this point? Where are we? We're right about. So
now they're trying to figure out how the variant keeps escaping.
Mm-hmm.
So, Loki still kind of tries to trick his way in the tent.
Right.
Right. Owen Wilson doesn't bite. Mobius doesn't bite.
Yeah.
So he tells him,
like biting time for the Nexus event to Redline.
Yeah. So he tells him, you know what, stay back here, do research on yourself, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And Loki figures something out.
Yeah.
He's like, the variant keeps showing up at places that are going to already end.
Yeah.
And that's how this variant is escaping. How she's, the variants like not notice,
which I thought was a very smart way to do that because Loki pretty much tells Mobius, watch, let's go somewhere that's going to be destroyed, and we'll do whatever we want, and it won't create a spike because it's going to get destroyed anyway. Which I was like, oh, this is very clever because, it can be they did it in a great way where it was very palatable and understandable. But I could see somebody getting kind of in the weeds, like, wait, what's going on? Like, Infinity Stones mean nothing, and there's multiple times. Like, what? You know what I mean? Like, it could be confusing or
just
whatever.
Remember, it's a comic book, okay?
Yeah,
and all this is in the comic book.
Yeah, and actually, the Little Miss Minutes video in episode 1 does a really good job of explaining it, where it's like the little characters,
really
like
does.
Sometimes this happens, and then there's a separate line, but we cut that branch and we keep it one timeline or whatever. So. Which the Ancient One kind of shows us in Endgame, if you do this, so it almost, do you think the Ancient One was aware of the sacred timeline?
I think so.
Okay, all right. I'm getting ahead of myself here, but
I think so.
Very cool stuff. So, okay, let's get back to it. So they're there. Loki's trying to stall for time. They realize he's full of shit. He makes some research. He finds out they can hide at the end of apocalypse events.
Yep. So they go back to Pompeii right when it's going to explode, and it checks out. There's no spike.
Yeah,
nothing.
I love how Owen Wilson, Mobius, is like, okay, do something subtle and we'll see. And Loki's like, okay, and he's just like, woo, you're all gonna die, blah blah. And he's like, so it's like he's really cutting
like an Italian and everything.
yeah, and he's like flipping stuff over, and he's telling them he's Loki and he's a god, and he's here to tell him death is coming. And they're looking at him like, who's this fucking crazy guy? And then the volcano explodes, and Mobius realizes, oh shit, he's right. You know what I mean? So, what happens at the end of this episode? Because I felt like each episode was like a little bit of a cliffhanger.
Yeah, so it pretty much just shows that who this variant is. It's Sylvie.
Sylvie, right? It's a Loki, but it's a woman.
They're in Alabama, like in 2050.
Right.
The gum,
Kablooey.
yeah. Which I was like, oh shit, the Loki variant's a woman. Female,
yeah, and she's a blonde. I didn't know this actress, and I didn't think I really knew. I think I knew that there was a female Loki in the comics, but I remember her having black hair.
Later, yeah, it was way later
in that Thor series that we were reading, right? Yeah, when Loki appears
after King Thor, that whole storyline, it gets like broken, and like somehow he becomes a woman.
Yeah.
And
I think it's because like the other Loki dies, but then he's like reincarnated or resurrected or whatever, but as a woman or whatever. It's a weird, But either way, this is a woman played by Sophia DiMartino. I'm not familiar with her from anything else.
I'm not either. I've never seen her once.
Fantastic job.
Yeah.
Great actress.
Yeah. People fell in love with Sylvie.
Sylvie was I like how she's got two short Loki horns, but one is broken, so she's just got the one.
Yeah, can you notice his fucking horns are long?
Yeah, the big ass horns, whatever. So so is this when he leaves with her?
Yes, because he finds a way out. She's pretty much telling him that she wants to go to the TVA. She wants to put an end to everything. They play with fucking time,
Yeah.
So she wants to blow it up.
And it's Loki being Loki, so it's like he's like, well, I'd rather be with a me.
Too. And he's like, I want a way out. I'm not really even trying to help these guys.
Yeah, like these guys seem like they're imprisoning me, and you're a me, so maybe we can find some common ground.
Too that after all this is done, maybe something bad will happen to him anyways. So.
Right. You got to imagine, he's a variant who is created a Nexus event. So where can he really go? Which is kind of something I didn't understand. At one point, Ravonna, who we've encountered already, but we haven't called her by name, but Ravonna, who was kind of the judge that Loki was having to answer to, and apparently has a high position there at the TVA.
Yeah, she's like almost number one.
Yeah. She asks at one point later on, Mobius, where would you go anywhere in time? And he says, well, I can go anywhere in time. And at the same time, earlier in the series, Loki asked him about the jet ski book. He's like, why do you got a magazine about jet skis? He's like, I don't know. They seem cool. They seem like, and he goes, well, have you ever been on one? He's like, no, I haven't. He's like, I think a TVA agent on a jet ski would be definitely, cause a branch. But I'm like, how does anybody know where you are? Can't you just pop up on the beach and just be walking around?
Just do that, that time reset.
Yeah. You're just like some guy, or even then, how does that upset the timeline? You're not, I guess if you encounter somebody, I don't know. See,
it's weird when you play with time. It's like the whole Cap section at Endgame, where he goes to live his life.
Yeah,
but then it was like, okay, so then how come they didn't stop him right then and there? I know he kind of puts it back where that branch never happens, but still,
that's true.
He
kind of prunes his own, and they use that word in Endgame, prune. Yes. They use it a lot in Loki. Pruning the branch or whatever. But,
so.
I don't know.
It's weird. How come they didn't stop him right away when he was dancing with her? How come they didn't stop him right away?
But it's funny because it almost makes it seem like earlier when Loki kind of throws their name out there, like, well, those are the ones you should be going after. They're like, no, what they did was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
So long as you do what's supposed to happen, the flow keeps going. It's very questionable.
I know.
And it fucks with you again. like Double A said earlier. It's a comic. So suspend your disbelief. You know what I mean? But it's fun to theorize about it. It's like that's one of the best parts about talking about something like that is that well, what about this? Why is that way? But either way, Sylvie has a vendetta. He calls her Loki, and she says, "Don't call me that." She goes, "Call me Sylvie." And right away a pretty cool character. This is the episode you're going to say was slow, right? 3?
Yes, episode 3.
The train episode.
Yeah, which everyone loved, but we'll get into that right now.
Yeah.
Why they loved it.
Yeah.
Not really for the episode. Is something that said that everyone was just like,
Okay, so you got me on the hook, so I need to know now. Like, okay, we're going into 3.
Yeah.
Did we finish 2?
Yeah, because this is where they go. Yeah.
Okay, so that's where they go. So Sylvie and Loki leave, and then they're on the train. And take it away, Double A, because I'm not even remembering the line myself.
Yeah, you don't remember where he reveals what he is, or
that's right. Yeah. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, and it's funny that you say that this episode people did like, because I actually read that people thought it was slow. I read people call it
slow too.
Filler episode.
That's what I felt too. I was like, come on, you're only doing 6 episodes. How can you make this a fucking filler? I was like, come on now.
This to me though is the episode where it seems like it's like a getting to know you thing, and the line Double A is,
but it was just like, golly.
Yeah, the line Double A is referring to is that
she asked him pretty much does he have any girlfriends, queens, or whatever, or princes or princesses, and he's like, yeah, I've had both.
Pretty much both, yeah. So the big thing that came out of it was that people were like, oh, that
and apparently the colors too are all the the gay rights colors.
I guess so, the rainbow colors, yeah. But anyway, I guess it's that Loki is I apologize. Bisexual, yeah, I guess is the term. But yeah, so that was a big deal. I think even the director of the episode came out and said that she was gonna put that in there.
It seemed like that's what everyone really focused on. It was like, okay, but I thought the episode sucked.
Yeah,
I could really care less what he is, because in the comics, or if you ever read Norse mythology, he has a fucking wolf, he has a Midgard serpent, he has a horse with 8 legs. So this guy's fucking anything, anyways.
Very, very Zeus-like. Zeus,
exactly. Yeah.
Zeus also, I think, fucked everything that there was to.
Like, he has an 8-legged horse that he gives to Odin. He has a big ass wolf that kills. Who does it kill I can't remember in the mythology. And then Thor and the Midgard serpent go at it, and they both kill each other. So yeah, he has and then he has Hela. Hela is like his daughter too, which I don't think it was in the movies, but in the comics, Hela is his daughter too. So.
No shit, I didn't know that one.
Yeah,
either.
So I mean, yeah. So I wasn't, I really could care less.
Yeah,
what he was, because like you said, he's had animals. He's fucked animals too.
Yeah, so. The character sexuality didn't really mean anything
so you
to me.
Throw in bestiality too.
Yeah, I liked it just because it was kind of like,
I thought it was just a filler episode, man. The whole train thing, that was long. And I know it was entertaining, but man, it was fucking long. There's really nothing that happened. And then they get to Lamentis, and it's just like, man, that's kind of like a long deal too. I'm like,
now I actually went back and watched this episode like almost right after I watched it the first time, because I wanted to watch it on the big screen. All because maybe I'm way reaching here, but did they say what was destroying Lamentis?
Just a moon, I guess. I got destroyed, because
I kind of got in my own mind, nothing leads this, but I was getting like Galactus vibes. I'm like, what's destroying this planet? And to me, people talked about the colors on the train, but when they were out there on Lamentis, it seemed very purple.
Yeah, it was.
Like, and I was like, what's? And I the reason I went back to watch it, because I was like, what's destroying it? Because she says this is one of the worst apocalypses you could have brought us to.
Yeah,
nothing survives. And I was like something's eating the planet. Like that was like the vibe I was getting. Like I was like, what the fuck?
I didn't even get that one.
Yeah, wow. So I was like, okay. And then the reason why I went back is because I knew the internet would have blown up if it was there, but I was like, maybe
that's why I didn't think about it.
Yeah, and I was thinking too, maybe I'll be the one to see it. But I was even looking for almost like any type of shapes, like that was like Galactus-ish. But again, and if it ever comes out that that's what was happening on Lamentis, I said it here first. But yeah, when my rewatch, I didn't see it or whatever, So I was just like, okay, I just thought maybe that she said that the world was being destroyed by something or whatever, but it really wasn't very clear. So, okay, so we get through that episode.
Yeah, so they're trying to like figure out, and they say, hey, this ship's leaving, so they try and get on the ship. That gets destroyed. So you're kind of like, it kind of ends on a cliffhanger, like, oh fuck,
they're gonna die.
What? Yeah, they're gonna die. What else is gonna happen? Like, the TVA don't know they're there. Right. Nobody knows they were there. The planet's going to be destroyed. So, yeah, it's kind of looking like a shitty situation at the end of the episode.
Yeah. And at the start of 4, we obviously see them get rescued in a way by the TVA.
Yeah.
And they're going into chains, right?
Yeah.
This is where they get,
Yes.
locked up, and they're going to get, finally they've got Sylvie, who's been killing, the things, and she's been stealing the,
but she's kind of been awakening people up too.
yes.
What it seems like.
Yes. She's letting them know kind of the truth. Like, because she has an ability, right? Double A, we didn't really talk too much about it, but like she can touch you and enchant
you. Which me and CM, since we're kind of big fans on Thor, we're like, well, that's the Enchantress. And she even kind of dressed up almost like the Enchantress. Because
I got those vibes.
The Enchantress herself dresses up in green too, and she kind of has like a headband. Obviously, they make it clear she's a Loki variant, but still, the powers. That's Amora. That's Enchantress. The making people fall in love with her or whatever. Or
when she puts her hand on you, and you kind of get that green hue.
So, I was like, that's Amora. That's Enchantress. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So. Okay.
But obviously, I don't know if that's what they did. They, cross Loki and Enchantress. So
or maybe later on they'll keep this character but refer to her as that, because you're not going to be referring to her.
Because she didn't want to be called Loki.
Yeah, she didn't want to be called Loki. Yeah. So now they get rescued. Now they're in the TVA. They're getting ready to get their so-called just desserts, I guess. But what happens here, Double A? Is this the?
I think that's when you find out, like Sylvie, like that she got
her
taken.
Yeah. How about that? Who young Sylvie is?
Yeah.
Is
it's
Judith.
Yeah, Judith. I was like, I recognized her right away. I was like, damn, another franchise.
Me too. What else was she doing?
Well, the Creep Show.
That's right. The Creep Show.
And they say she was Rey from Star Wars.
What? Yeah, no way. I didn't know that. That little girl's agent is fucking the bomb, man. Yeah,
and then The Walking
great
Dead,
for her.
Like, damn.
Great for her. Yeah, I knew her as Judith, right?
No, but it's like Walking Dead, Star Wars, Marvel Universe. It's like
Creep
Show.
Let me pick your brain on that a little bit, Double A, while we're talking about that episode. So we see a young Sylvie, played by the actress, the wonderful actress that plays Kaylee Carl. I gotta look it up, but that plays Judith in The Walking Dead, older Judith. She's sitting playing with her toys in Asgard, and then TVA shows up and just snags her for apparently no reason.
And I'm like, what did she do?
What was
this little girl do?
That's my point, and that's her point too.
Yeah.
What did I do? What was my?
I was like,
who do we see that gets her? It's Ravonna. Ravonna that gets her.
When she looked like she was a hunter.
Yeah. She was one of the, just kind of the
before she became a judge,
right? She was one of the grunts there. So that makes you wonder, like, well, what was her Nexus event? You know what I mean?
It looked like they were about to do it when what happened? She like steals her temporal thing,
temp pad,
right? And her temp pad, and
excuse me, guys, long day for
that. She disappears, and that's when she starts her run,
which was very. So she's been running since she was a little girl.
Yeah.
So when we get to the end, we're going to talk about what happened and what her actions were, and I was like, well, hold on now. She has a lot of built up fucking baggage. Imagine living all your days in worlds that are ending.
Exactly. Your life fucking blows.
Yeah. In the beginning, you had to find out that's where you could hide. But up to then, you're just running and running. Because everywhere you're creating a fucking branch and they're right behind you. And
somewhere along the way, she went to an apocalypse and probably saw, hey, they're not chasing
They
me.
Didn't come here. Yeah. And I think at one point, even Owen Wilson says that he's like, if she finds a place where there's food and all that abundance, she can just go there over and over again, because no one's going to look for her there, which was very smart. When you write it that way, it's very smart, smartly written. So, so I think this is where we see Mobius and Ravonna are celebrating. They got him. They're having a drink.
But Loki's, words have been starting to get into Mobius's head.
Yeah, because at this point he's already told them, like,
that you're all variants.
You're all variants. You're not born here, because all the workers at the TVA think that they're born there. They were made by the timekeepers. Yeah,
and they're not.
Yeah, but Sylvie, she's able to tell them.
She showed her C20 that she actually had a life before this.
Right.
That she used to like going out. She used to like have margaritas.
Yeah.
She had a life.
You're not made in the TVA. You were a regular person. You were a variant like me, which makes you think more, right? How many freaking variants were there? How many, how much of our actions create a Nexus event? You know what I mean?
And why these people too? It's like, why pull that person? why pull this person? Why, you know, it's like,
yeah, it's almost like you would imagine, like, oh, that person that day got into a car accident, like killed Captain America, and because that happened, he couldn't stop Thanos or some shit. It's like, what the fuck? Like, that's like wild or whatever.
Yeah.
So we learned that Mobius wants to talk to C20, but Ravona's adamant that she's went nuts and they had to prune her. And so he's like, all right, you know what I mean? But after Loki, he interrogates Loki and he's kind of pissed off at him and he calls him an asshole. You know, he's like, you're an asshole. And he's like, look, I'm trying to tell you there's more going on here. It's not just a lie, but it's hard to believe, you know, boy cried wolf, right? You know, and he doesn't believe him, but he does tell him, he's like, you're all variants. Loki goes into a time loop and we get to see Lady Sif comes back. That's pretty cool. It's the same actress that's been Lady Sif from the Thor movies. And I know she was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., at least one episode, I think. And that's cool. And she pretty much tells him what a fucking loser he is. And he has to hear that over and over and over again. And Mobius wants to interview Sylvie, right? But Ravonna is against it, right, Double A?
She's like, no, I'm doing it. No one else is doing it. And he's like, I don't understand. I'm your best guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no. So, you know, Loki's going through this and he goes back. And I think that's when Loki, he starts kind of like, he thinks that's weird. Ravonna has never really done that before. You know, that's weird.
Yeah.
So he's starting to get his thoughts in his head more and more, you know? And he goes back to Loki, he kind of stops the time loop.
Mm-hmm. You know?
And he asks him about all these stuff. And he's like, you know, that it seems like she's right. It seems like Sylvie's right. You know, Sylvie doesn't seem like a Loki. She doesn't have thoughts like Loki. You know, she's really trying to burn this fucking place down for the years that it took from her. Yeah. You know, she didn't have a life. She was on the run.
She didn't have time to decide I want to be a despot and want glorious purpose because she's trying to fucking survive. You know what I mean?
That's all she's doing is just surviving.
Yeah. So those years, you know, which had to be at least over 20 years, probably.
Because she looks like she's in her 30s, 40s now.
Right, you know? Right. And she looked like she got taken when she was like between 8 and 10, maybe. Yeah. And so it's like, you know, fuck this place. You know what I mean? I just want to burn it down pretty much, you know? So
I think she sets that other person free too, right? The other hunter.
Yes. This one? Yes. Right. That's right. She kind of thinks that there's something more going on. She goes, when you touch me,
it's like C20 is, would it just go down like that?
Yeah. And she also says, when you touch me, I saw something.
That's right.
Like, you know,
that's right.
So then she's like, okay, I'll show you or whatever. So she takes her back to the supermarket and she shows her the whole kit and caboodle. And she's in the rain and she's pretty upset. She's like, wow, I had a life. I seem happy.
Alive. Yeah.
You know, so now she knows that everything she's grown up knowing has been a lie. So you get the impression she's willing to help him. And Ravonna tells Mobius the timekeepers want to see them get pruned. Finally, these variants. They're not having it, and you can come. They want to meet you finally. So he's like, okay, I'm excited. It's like a promotion almost, you know. So is it pretty quick? We get to that right away. They go to that right away, right?
Because you see them, and they start fighting, and because somehow they set them free, and they start fighting, and then they find out the timekeepers are just figureheads.
Yeah, these androids.
They're androids.
Sylvie cuts the head off one of them, and it's a robot.
Yeah, and you're like, what the fuck? This is just like the show.
Yeah,
you know, that's
the Wizard of Oz.
Yes.
There's a lot of vibes of that.
Exactly.
In this, you
know?
Yes. So right as Sylvie is telling Loki, you know, and Loki's telling her, well, what do we do now? You know, they're like, well, we're going to get to the bottom of this. We're going to find someone that can talk. What fucking happens, though?
He gets pruned.
Yeah, we just see him get pruned. Oh, and we missed the part before this where
Mobius.
We see fucking Mobius.
He gets pruned too.
Which when that happened, wow. I was like, yeah. Just like Owen Wilson, right?
I was
wow.
I was too. I was like, holy
I was
shit.
Like, no, man, not fucking Mobius.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, you know, and especially his last lines. And he's like, you know what? I would like to, he believes them. I want to go back to where I'm originally from. You know what I mean? He's saying it in front of some other hunters, you know what I mean? Like letting him know, like this shit ain't fucking real or whatever. Yeah. And she's like, prune him, you know what I mean? And you got the impression that they were tight, you know, that they were friends, and she just kind of kills him without regard, you know what I mean?
And I kind of assumed too that maybe Tom Hiddleston did like that was gonna be it. I really did assume like, oh shit, okay, well I guess that's the end of the world for him.
I had a part of that me too, because I was like, oh well, the show's still called Loki. She's gonna just be Loki.
Yeah, that they're gonna transfer it to her now.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, man, I was really down until for some reason, again, I always kind of like stop it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't stop it this time. I just kind of let the music go because I was thinking in my head, well, shit, Loki's gone. I was like, Owen Wilson is gone. I was like, man, it sucks. And then that scene pops up.
Yeah.
I was like, what the
end
fuck?
Credit scene.
End credit scene. Like, because it's weird because it's like episode 4.
Yeah. And there's Marvel for you again, right? You can never know which one to trust, because when I told my sister, I was like, there's a scene at the end. She's like, do they all have a scene? I said, no, just this one. I said, I know. I went back and looked too.
It's weird. I'm like, damn.
You know, we get one in WandaVision. I think just one. And we only get one in do we get one in Falcon and Winter Soldier? I think we just get one.
I don't even remember them having one.
Yeah. But either way, it's like, you know, you never know at Marvel. You got to just watch the credits. So here comes the scene, and it's Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah, and I was like, holy shit, he's alive. Like, that was my first thing, was like, he's alive.
Yeah. He wakes up, and he's like, is this hell? And then he gets an answer from none other than
4 of the Loki variants.
And they tell him
Kid Loki, an alligator Loki, someone called the boastful Loki, and then you get the original Loki,
the classic costume,
Loki.
Man.
Richard E. Grant, man. I'm like, oh shit, Richard E. Grant. I love that dude. I love him from Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah.
From Warlock. You know, he's come out in so many other movies, and he looks so perfect too. That's the way he used to look in the Marvel comics.
Yeah.
He used to look like that, from the old face to the costume and everything. So,
dude, he looked awesome, man.
I was like, holy shit, there's more of them. And in the background too, it's all like apocalyptic.
Yeah. Everything is all like torn up the world or whatever. And so
and that's the end. And I was like, oh shit, you know, like, man, that was one hell of a cliffhanger.
And that's taking us right into episode 5.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
So, you know, you got to wait a whole fucking week. You wait, and it comes out, and you're like, all right, I'm ready to see what the hell happened. And what happens, Double A? They tell him.
He gets up, and, you know, they kind of explain to him, like, yeah, this is where they, you know, they're Lokis. They don't fucking die. They just keep surviving.
Yeah.
And keep fucking shit up. And, you know, they've kind of formed a little tight-knit group. And then we see this, like, monster is Goliath.
Yes.
Kind of chasing out. They're like, we have to go. You know, and they have like a safe house, it looks like.
Yeah. Like their bachelor pad almost.
And they kind of tell them, like, this is kind of like the end right here. This, like, there's nothing else here. This is it. You know, and he's like, no, there's got to be a way to get out of here. It's like, no, every time we do that, fucking Goliath comes.
And the one tells me, is like, it's mainly about surviving.
Yeah,
like, at this point.
At this point, it's surviving. There's no more lies. There's no more, you know, trying to rule over this, rule over that. That's it. You know?
Yeah, so it's like you get pruned, but you don't die. You just kind of go to this wasteland.
Yeah, you go to this fucking end of the road, you know?
Yeah, no shit. And then what happens to Double A? Do we kind of cut back to the TVA? Do we see that part yet? Or that's not till the very end?
That's not till the very end. End. You just get a meeting, and he kind of like, they all kind of introduce themselves, what they are. You know, one has actually killed Thor.
Yeah. The kid, right? It's the kid one.
Yeah. You know, he's like, what the fuck with the alligator?
Yeah,
you know?
The alligator.
He's like, well, he's green.
Yeah. And then that's apparently the internet's in love with Gator Loki right now too. It's super huge or whatever. But
we get like President Loki or whatever.
Yeah, a bunch of Lokis show up at some point, and they're all like, of course, bickering and fighting amongst one another. You know what I mean? So you get that, and it all makes for great imagery. It's fucking pretty cool. You know, I thought the President Loki looked pretty good.
You can't even trust fucking your own self.
Yeah, especially if you're that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, you promised I would be in control.
And then the President Loki, apparently that was from a comic too.
Yes,
that comes out of the comic.
Yes.
But, I guess they decided to help our Loki, the Loki that we know, and
the Kid Loki and Classic Loki help our Loki
and Gator. The Gator gets he does pulls a Chubbs from fucking Happy Gilmore and gets some Darth Vader action on the hand of the President Loki, I believe it is. Yeah, that's pretty damn cool.
It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, and again, it makes her great, like visuals and all that, and it's a fun story. And then
I think we go back to the TVA, and then that's when she's trying to figure out, because she got Ravonna. and she wants to know where they're at, and she wants files.
Right.
And the TVA come in, and she's cornered. She's got nowhere else to go.
Yeah, surrounded.
So she prunes herself.
Yeah, she prunes herself.
And then that's when she runs into Mobius, who we find out he's still alive too.
Yeah. So you're happy about that because you're like, oh, I thought this character was previously gone, but he's here. And now they're there in the wasteland where our Loki that we know is.
Loki's there, yeah. And they tell her about, Eliath, and she was like, I think I can enchant him. Mm-hmm. I think we can subdue him. Mm-hmm. So it's this crazy plan.
Yeah.
None of the other Lokis like the plan.
No, not at all. Yeah.
They're like, we've tried everything, it doesn't work. We lose. That's our purpose.
Yeah, and her thought is that this thing is not meant here for us. It's just a gatekeeper to something more. You know what I mean? So she's still trying to get to who's behind.
This ain't like the time monster that we're chasing after.
Right.
This ain't the one that's in charge.
Right.
We need to figure out what it's guarding.
Yeah.
So
yeah, she knows that there's more to it than that. And Mobius is helping them out.
This point he already knows everything from the TV is just bullshit.
Was a lie.
Yeah.
So then what happens? AA, they get to let me check the time here, guys. Looks like we're right up at this break. Let's take this quick break, read some comments, and we'll come right back and we'll finish up. I think we're pretty much at the end on Loki here. Yeah. Right after this. Guys, if you're here with us on Facebook Live, we didn't go anywhere. Just a quick blip for the audio listeners. Hope you're still hanging out. But we got some good comments in here in the queue, talking things Loki. AA, can you help me out with the reading duties? Are we okay on time?
Let me see. Yeah. Right there. Do you think the Spider-Verse movie showed how the multiverse could be doable?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Like as a blueprint for them.
I definitely think so, Joe. I thought that movie did a really great job with that. I didn't expect that from that movie, but it did bring that in, and that was a cool aspect. If you'd have asked me, did I want a Spider-Man movie with all the other Spider-Man, I would have probably just said no, whatever. But it did a great job. It was so much fun to love Into the Spider-Verse. I think it definitely shows that it can be done, and you can have fun with it, and you can do it right. So, yeah, for sure. Although I'm sure Marvel probably had it kind of in maybe a plan before that, though, I would think. But what else?
If it was supposed to happen, they stayed out. It's like the Eternals bothered me. They've been here forever, but they are now just helping.
Right.
Then he says Loki's by.
Mm-hmm.
Someone was taken so young.
Yep, definitely, man.
He goes, when they get pruned, they make the Vader nose.
No, that's the worst. I hate that.
Loki was awesome.
Dude,
Gator Loki was my favorite. I love seeing the frog Thor in the jar.
Yeah.
And then that Thanos copter.
The Thanos copter. Yeah, I had to go back and look for some of that stuff once I watched the breakdown.
Somebody was... Well, I'll say that until later, once we get in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great comments. Joe, we really appreciate you, man, joining in the conversation, being here with us as always. We know it's Thursday, and I don't know if you got to work, but we're going to get here to the end right now. I think in this next block right here, because AA has got to work too, and I've also got to be up super early to travel, not by plane, but by car. But still, no fun getting up that early on a day off. Guys, if you stuck with us through the quick blip, we appreciate you. And if you were joining us on Facebook Live, you heard some of our awesome comments from Friday Nighter Joe. We'll keep the comments up. Joe joined the conversation for us on this last block as we head on our way out to, guys, what just ended yesterday night, right?
Yeah.
Loki, man, Tom Hiddleston, Owen Wilson, Sophia DiMartino killed the game with a... Man, I mean, a fantastic show. Okay, so we're in the middle to end of episode 5.
So they're having a plan. Now, somehow all the Lokis and Mobius got to try and distract Eliath long enough for her to have a chance to kind of touch it, whatever she can do to enchant this beast, to maybe put it to sleep.
Right.
Something.
Right.
The Lokis help out. The ones that actually want to help out, they help out. Yeah. Richard E. Grant, the classic Loki, has the big moment in the series. It's like one of the highlights of the whole show. He recreates, all of Asgard with his magic, which I don't even think our Loki knew he could do that. You know,
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, it's only when Loki's at out of options that's when Loki pulls out the big guns. You know,
and he says that. I think he says because I think we're more powerful than we think we are. You know what I mean? But dude, that part is
and Goliath is distracted just long enough that Sylvie's able to get a handle on it and enchant it and kind of put it to sleep.
Yeah, and she needs Loki's help, and she tells him, and she goes, help me enchant it, and he's like, I don't know how, and she goes, if I know how, you know how.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because it almost makes you think like, do they have these powers within them, but they don't have it?
It's funny because like the comic book character kind of has all these powers in one, but it's like in this, films. It's like each Loki has like a different part of like what the comic book does.
Yeah,
it's weird. Yeah. It's like, wow, okay.
It's like earlier in the series, he's arguing with Mobius about one of his powers, and he's like, "Oh no, it's not that."
Illusions, and compared to I forgot what the other one.
Duplicating or something. Like duplicating.
Where illusion is fake, but duplicating can actually make a Loki,
like a copy of yourself. Yeah, it's very cool.
And so that kind of ends it right then and there for episode 5. After all that, they finally have their door open. They see it. It's right there. It's wide open where the light was guardian.
After again, Richard E. Grant, the classic Loki distracts him. The great line as he's
glorious
purpose. Like that part, I wrote a little tear. I was like, man, that shit was fucking awesome. Man.
That's what I loved. Episode 4 was so good. Episode 5 was really good. And I was just like, okay, this is where it should have been. Because like I said, episode 3 really threw me off. I was like,
definitely in comparison, these are far better. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, you're right. So there's the walkway.
And so I'm still not even thinking what's going to happens. That's not even going through my head.
Me neither.
I'm just like, okay, because there is someone that's called He Who Remains, right? That's what He Who Remains.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, so it's like it says like in this app that I have that that is a fucking character in the comics. So I was like, okay, I wonder what it's going to be. I wonder who it's going to look like.
Right.
They go and it's like a castle, which I was kind of like off-putting too. I was like, a castle? Really? Like this at the end of time, it's a fucking castle?
Yeah. Okay. You know what I mean?
And so they go and like Sylvie's kind of like really anxious, really nervous. And
she's got her goal in mind. I mean, her goal is like,
wow, I'm here.
We're gonna end
that's
this.
It. I'm here, And at this point, I think the TVA is starting to kind of unravel bad at the same time.
Yeah.
Things
are going south over there.
Yeah, apparently this hunter keeps taking some of the squads back and showing them Ravonna, what she was, and they're like, "What the fuck's going on?" Like they're like, "No, this can't be." Like she starts opening the eyes of everyone that no, you're all variants.
Exactly.
You all had lives.
Exactly.
The
TVA is not what we think it is.
So the TVA is kind of like crumbling down pretty bad. Already. Ravonna's like making her exit. She's like, oh yeah, fuck this.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm out of here. Yeah.
And she goes through her door and we don't know where she's going. She just packed up and
we know it's not the last of her for sure.
So we finally get back to Sylvie and Loki and Miss Minutes pops up.
That's right. That's
and
right.
It says, tries to make him a sweet offer. If you stop right now, we'll put you in a timeline where you win.
Yeah.
You rule. Everything goes your way. He goes, it's a little hard. She goes, it's a little hard, but we can do it.
Mm-hmm.
He Who Remains can do it. They're like, oh, fuck no.
They
we're here for a purpose. They go, and then that's
glorious purpose.
And then that's when we see
the doors open, and this news had been out there. We knew that this gentleman got cast. We all were pretty sure who it was going to be. If you're more than a casual fan, you knew.
And we did, and I pretty much creamed my pants because I was like, wow, he's here.
Yeah, I'm like, you're getting it right now. Here. We're getting it right now. You know,
they say he was supposed to make his appearance in Ant-Man.
Yeah,
not here, which I was like really disappointed that he was going to make his first appearance in Ant-Man. I was like, no, it has to be something bigger.
Yeah,
but I was like, whoa, he's here now on Loki show. This makes sense.
And it wasn't like a little cameo, like at the end of Avengers when we got Thanos.
No.
You'd have to court death. It was like, oh, he's motherfuckers hanging out. Like I'm like, all right, like I'm here for this shit.
So they never really say it, but it's King the Conqueror. It's the fucking time travel master. Everything. He's been from, the earliest of time to where he's the last one standing. And from what I understand, this version was his Immortus version, the version that's old, that's at the end of time, that tries to prevent his younger self from doing all his bullshit. He's like the wise king almost.
Okay,
the one that's actually is trying to help.
Okay,
in his way. So he's Immortus,
the quote unquote good one.
Yeah. So this is Immortus, and he kind of tells him his history, which I fucking freaked out too. I was like, cool. Like seriously, I was like getting goosebumps. I was like, I'm from the 31st century. Everything's peaceful. Everything's so futuristic. I used the time machine to go back. I conquered Goliath. Because
this is all the real king from the comic book lore.
I've been called a ruler. I've been called a conqueror. I was like, damn, Rama Tut. The pharaoh with the futuristic technology.
Yeah.
Apocalypse fights him. That's Rama Tut.
Wow, very badass.
King the Conqueror, everyone knows that, so I was like, wow, and then he's the one that kind of discovers, it's his time period that they discovered the multiverses, that there's a universe on top of a universe on top of a universe. Yeah. And all the kings come, they all start and they cause trouble. Bad, real bad.
They're fucking fighting and tearing it up. Let me read through these comments real quick, though, just because they're good here. So
he goes, I popped for that part. Glorious purpose.
Yes.
He goes, Joe says, I had her king early
as on. Did we, definitely.
No, she's supposed to be King's girlfriend, that Ravonna.
Ravonna, right. We had heard about that too, supposedly.
The King of Kings.
The King of Kings, yeah.
I mean, I was just like really like fucking exploding because the way they're making King seems like it's like I told CM. It was going to be hard. I was like, the only person I can think that can top Galactus, Thanos was going to be Galactus. But man, the way they're setting up Kang, is that he's really going to fuck shit up. He's going to, go throughout all of time, because he knows time. He knows the history. He knows what's going to happen. And it's going to take like teams to stop this guy.
From multiple places, maybe. And again, when we tell you the end right here, you're gonna know why. But it's like pretty much what does Kang say? AA. He makes them an offer. He goes, I'm tired.
Yeah.
I have this in order here.
And it is. They show a screen. It's perfect. Everything's going as smooth.
And he tells them, hey, this is what I had to go through to get here. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
he goes
fighting myself.
Yeah, he goes, it was gonna destroy itself. The whole universe we were gonna fucking destroy everything. Yeah. Until I finally got here. Right. And started pruning everything. And the TVA was necessary. He had to get this team to keep it like that.
Yeah. Because there was going to keep being things that created more.
And Sylvie and Loki's like, they just can't really understand it. It's like, no, you're doing something. You're not giving people free will. Yeah. That's kind of like the whole theme of this is free will.
Very much so. From the very beginning, when Mobius is telling, were you trying to tell these people? And it's the old scene of Loki telling people, you think that freedom is what you wanted, but really it's not. You know what I mean? And you're like, he's like, you're like a slave in a sense to the idea of freedom, which is like, in its own way confusing. It's like, what? Okay, you know what I mean? Like, do we all want to be free and have free will? I mean, or do we just think that we do? So, he's telling them that, right? Kang is telling them that.
And he's like, you two can run it, both of you.
Right.
And, but if you kill me, more versions of me are going to come. And it's going to be bad. And it's still going to lead to here.
Yeah.
And
then we have, with this Loki, Sylvie, that is pretty much way bad PT fucking SD because she's spent her life on the run. Everything she knows has made her want to hate these people that have chased her, dogged her, this entire time. She's had to kill them. She, tried to bomb the sacred timeline, with their own tech. She's a hurt, damaged person or whatever. And it's pretty much, I want revenge. But it gets through to Loki, who's like, well, what if he's telling the truth? What if it's
Loki really believes him? He's like, no, this guy is evil.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm a liar. I know he's not lying.
Yeah.
This guy, what we can unleash could be even worse than what's going on now. And Sylvie's kind of like in disbelief, like, you know what our purpose was. It was to come here and kill this guy.
Yeah.
You know, now you're kind of
siding with him in ways. And I told Double A, I said, man, it makes you kind of think, right? Like, he made it seem like here's the options is like either you guys take over or you kill me. And if you kill me, you know, it could be worse. You know what I mean? And I was like, I told Double A there was a third option, which would have been like, if they both would have got on the same page and said, you know what, you're doing it, you're running it, we don't want nothing to do with it. Now, he might have just offed himself because he was tired of existing or whatever, or being in charge. Then you get the multiverse war or whatever anyway. But I think they could have walked away, but they were obviously.
Sylvie, like you said, Sylvie is too much.
Right.
Like, you guys chase me.
Yeah.
Throughout history.
And you have two Lokis here at the end, almost with completely opposite thoughts. Because in many ways, she wants her revenge. That's how she's going to get it, killing him. Loki could have everything he wants, this and being the
ultimate ruler in a sense. This could be the ultimate spot,
you know, and it's like that's on the table or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he'd probably get to have her too, because obviously, you know, Loki ends up kind of falling in a sense for himself, you know what I mean? Which is a funny,
arrogant bastard.
Yeah, it's so I was like, oh man, the vanity is just through the roof.
It's perfect.
Which although she is a better version of him.
No, but it is perfect.
Yeah,
he would, the one person he would fall in love with would be himself.
And guys, there's so many beats and so many fun and funny parts in this show that what we're telling you, we are spoiling the main plot points for sure, but it's so worth your time to go watch.
It is.
You know,
awesome. It's like 3 2-hour movies of Loki.
Yeah, you know,
that's perfect.
Owen Wilson even kind of busting his balls about it, like, wow, you fell in love with yourself. Like what is, you know, what's wrong with you? You know what I mean? And there's so many other things, you know, the salad, there's all these other just great funny parts, great acting. This show will definitely be nominated for Emmys, I have no doubt.
Unless it's too late.
Too far off. But it could easily be for sure because it's fantastic. But so you know, again, you end up with these two Lokis with completely opposite ideas of what they want, and a guy telling them here, like, well, whichever one of you gets your way is going to lead to the other thing or whatever, you know. And so, what do we get happen there?
Well, she kills him. She sends Loki away.
They fight. Yeah, she sends Loki away,
and then she stabs him, and he's like, "Oh, see you soon."
Yeah, he winks and he dies. And I didn't know about that version you're calling him, Immortus.
Yes.
Yeah, is that from the comics?
Yeah, you probably might even remember him too from the X-Men cartoon.
I don't.
The Nexus of Time, that big apocalypse event. It was like that 4-parter apocalypse.
No,
where Bishop is outside of time.
I'll go watch that on Disney Plus. But
that's where he captures all the psychics. He captures everyone.
Is he Kang there? Or?
No, he's Immortus.
He's just Immortus,
and he's outside of time.
Oh wow, interesting.
Yeah. Actually, he's right there. Right there. Right here. King.
Oh no shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very, very cool. I'm gonna do a TikTok tonight, guys, and show you some of the great books that Double A has up here tonight.
Yeah, and so Loki wakes up in a TVA. And we're seeing just the branches go crazy. It's off the fucking charts. This is the worst thing that could ever happen. And the TVA are just running and running. There's just, you know, then we run into Mobius, and he's like, there's like 64 branches that have come out in just this one area, this one section.
Right.
And Loki finds him, and he's like, hey, Mobius, you know, we gotta act, you know. And he's like, wait, hold on, you're an analyst, right? Who are you?
Yeah.
And that's when you're like, oh shit, he's not even in the same TVA anymore. Yeah. And then he sees a statue. It's not the fucking timekeepers or whatever. It's Kang. The costume and everything. It's Kang. I was like, holy shit. Kang, yeah. I fucking like even blew my pants even more after that one.
It was like, oh shit. And again, guys,
and it just looked so cool. I was like, damn, he's coming. King is here.
The implications, like right here, Joe says a great comment in the group. Joe says, it turns out that they were chased because they're the reason time gets fucked up. Yeah, exactly. They were like their own Nexus event. Existing. And then Joe says the scene where they see the King said, man, I mean, it is just...
And like I said, at that point, because Loki is supposed to be one of these top tier villains, that this is where I was like, wow, they are making Kang like a really big villain that you should like definitely watch out for.
Oh yeah,
you know?
Oh yeah, definitely. And again, for me, a more geek moment, I guess you could say, or is that the gloves are off. You know what I mean? It's like the multiple timelines
and
exist
so
now.
I text to see him like right away. I'm
Mhm.
like, wow.
Did you see Loki? I'm like, oh yeah.
I was like, everything's canon now. Netflix is canon, Sony's canon, 20th Century Fox is canon, New Line Cinema, Blade, everyone, that's all canon.
It's like Marvel went into that fucking that storage room where the Ark of the Covenant was in Indiana Jones and opened all the crates at the same time. It's like, you know what? We wrote a story where we can now do whatever the fuck we want. You know what I mean? And
they got a way to explain everyone back. They have almost everyone back in their storage.
Yeah.
So now it's like, okay, now the what if, now everyone's like, wow, okay, now the what ifs are really going to be interesting because of all this happening. Wow, now this is how Charlie Cox is going to be able to be in this Spider-Man. That's how Tobey Maguire might be in this one, Yeah. Now we can have Hugh Jackman, possibly.
Whatever you want.
It's like Patrick Stewart can come over, James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, then it's kind of like, you kind of go back even to the last scene of WandaVision, and it was like, wow, now it makes sense how she was able to hear the kids. Yeah. Because it was like, how were the kids still screaming? They're not real. Right. Well, now that multiverse has been opened up now. Yeah. There is a multiverse where she can see them and feel them. And it's kind of like, oh, man. And then people are like Doctor Strange, Wanda, Loki, all working together to maybe trying to bring everything back. It's totally. Like, man, it sounds very exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I agree 100%. To me, it made me think more about like the Eternals, and I'm like, are they aware of him? Are they aware of what he did? Like, how they must be, because they're like so otherworldly. So it just makes so much stuff more fun and exciting to look forward to.
I mean, the Multiverse of Madness, Sam Raimi directing the Doctor Strange movie. I'm really even more invested than I probably would have been before this.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, wow, this just opens up everything. And then again, King can just go into any of these movies real easy, even if it's just a cameo like Daniels.
Yeah, for sure.
And fuck shit up. And I'm really excited. I hope they don't kill King off. I hope he's the big villain of this phase. Yeah. I'm super pumped up. I liked what he did. I can't remember the actor's name. I liked his portrayal.
Jonathan Majors.
Yeah. And I mean, man, if they bring in the Fantastic Four, this is how they bring him in. Because in the comics, he's supposed to be a descendant of Reed.
That's right.
So I mean, and it kind of hits scientists. I was a scientist in my era. Yeah. I was like, oh man.
I don't think I knew what a big King fan you were. But
I'm a huge King fan. I love King fan. I mean, I love everything about time travel. So like I said, I bought that first appearance when I could. It's a beat up copy. It's a beat up copy, but I was just happy because I wanted King's first appearance. Yeah. So.
And Joe says here, you can see how he's going to be in the next few movies.
I hope so, especially with Ant-Man. I can't wait to see what he's going to do in Ant-Man. So
maybe once again, bringing up the quantum realm, that may definitely come into play for sure. But I think it's a great villain, great choice, great casting. It was like a kind of a real treat ending. Like I was like, wow, this could have gone a lot of ways.
And like I said, I don't know how maybe they can do it, but maybe they can even show Ramatut. They go back to somehow ancient Egypt, someone, and you see him ruling, with the future tech that he's ruling with.
People always want that origin story. So there's always a place for that.
Yeah.
But man, Loki was freaking excellent. Wait, what do I got here? Joe says I gotta go
through the anime series to see where he's come out. Again, it's the Apocalypse one. Man, I can't. It's like it's a 4-parter.
Of the X-Men.
Yes, and I can't remember it's like season 3 or season 4, but it's a big like story with Apocalypse is kidnapping all the psychics.
Okay.
And Bishop is like outside of time, like literally he's outside of time.
Interesting.
Yeah, and you really don't get to see Immortus until the last episode, last scene.
Yeah,
that's when you see
I know
Immortus.
On Disney Plus there's also the Silver Surfer and the Fantastic Four cartoon, so I'm sure you might find Kang in some of those.
Not in the Surfer.
Really?
No, okay. Surfer. It was Thanos. Thanos was the big bad.
Yeah.
For Surfer. And the Fantastic Four, man, I never really saw that series too much.
Yeah, I'm just wondering. Sometimes you can just scroll the titles of the episode.
I remember Black Bolt came out. I remember, I think Ghost Rider came out. I think. Yeah. Shit, I can't remember, but I don't remember King coming out.
Good shit, though. Joe, if you find something, Joe, let us know. We'd like to see that for sure. Joe says,
redo
Apocalypse, maybe Fantastic Four. Maybe that'd be weird.
Cool too, to even put Apocalypse if they do that Ramatut story somehow, because Apocalypse's origin connects with Ramatut's, so
it can't be any different than Wong fighting Abomination in the cage match. Definitely there, and Shang-Chi. I wonder how that's going to play into all this as well too. So, but guys, if you have not seen Loki, I highly recommend.
And Black Widow.
And Black Widow as well.
Black Widow's just really enjoyable. That's a really good action flick.
So
funny, action. It's funny. And then Loki was just, I was just blown away. That ending just, because WandaVision was still my favorite until like that ending.
Oh yeah,
of Loki.
I'm sure that changed everything.
That changed it for me because I'm such a huge King fan.
Yeah,
I'm already a big Loki fan, but King, I was like, oh man, he's here. He's gonna fuck shit up.
I mean, he's
an Avengers villain. He's a Fantastic Four villain. This guy is, when you're a villain for those two groups.
Oh yeah,
you're a bad motherfucker.
Yeah, it's a big bold move to kind of put him at the end of this series, and then no real end credit scene.
I'm glad he kind of besides the season 2.
Yeah, but season 2 announced.
I'm glad they debuted him here in Loki and not Ant-Man. I'm really happy it was Loki. So
I think it just lends so much credibility to these shows, really and obviously Tom Hiddleston doing a great job, and
but how everyone just loves him. Like Tom Hiddleston is a superstar in the Marvel universe. Mm-hmm. Okay, so for Kang to make an appearance, his first appearance here, that was awesome.
That's great, man. And it's so funny. It's becoming like that, right? Like you said, first appearance. Like, just like in the comments, we're like, when was the first time they came out in a show? We mentioned earlier, Madam Hydra. It's like, we know she first came out in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and then translated over to a movie. So clearly, that's the way that they're gonna go with it. But I personally can't wait for more.
I can't wait. I can't wait for season 2.
They said season 2.
I'm like drooling for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Absolutely, we don't get that this year, do we?
I don't think so. But man, I'm drooling over. I can't wait to see him.
We do get No Way Home this year, though. In December.
That's right. That's the movie we're gonna get. I think that's the last movie we're gonna get this year.
Yeah, and that'll be great. I'm all for that. I can't wait.
And that should stir up some shit too. If Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are really here, and if Doc Ock and
Charlie Cox,
Jamie Foxx is supposed to be back as Electro.
Put it all in there,
there. That's already I'm salivating over all.
You don't need a good plot. Just give us that from beginning to end.
Now you're getting like the Marvel Sony universe. You're getting the the Andrew Garfield universe, and then you're getting the Tobey Maguire universe.
Yeah,
like wow,
big stuff. Man.
So that's awesome.
Big, huge stuff.
Yeah.
Well, Double A, if we don't have anything else, then
I don't know. Just go out and watch it, man. If you haven't seen it, you
can get them both at Disney Plus at home and enjoy it in the comfort of your own home. If not, go check out Black Widow in theaters. It's definitely worth it. I give Black Widow my highest seal of approval, which is that I would buy and will buy a copy of it. I mean, I already got it on Disney Plus, but I would buy one to support the movie because I think it's badass. I would buy it and I would watch it again, which is the two things I could say the most. And Loki, definitely. There hasn't been a Marvel show yet that I said I would not.
And I kind of wish you would put these shows on DVD. I wish you would put WandaVision on DVD. I wish you would put Loki on DVD.
I wish that they would at least give you an option to watch it without the intros. Just watch it as one long, continuous shot. You know what I mean? Like a movie. That'd be great if they gave that option on Disney Plus. So. Joe says, I can't wait for No Way Home. He says Kingpin needs to be in Spider-Man.
I like him as Daredevil's villain, but man, that would be cool to see Kingpin and Spider-Man.
I always love the idea of that little group mixing. Like the Punisher gets to meet Spider-Man because they were kind of always there in New York in that particular part. So and Daredevil too. Obviously, I love the idea of that. So that'd be awesome to see. But if there's not anything else, Double A, I'll wrap it up here.
That's it.
All right, guys. Well, something I like to say at the end of every show, and that is, guys, if there's something that you want to do, a dream you want to attain or achieve, get out there and go do it. Seize the day, guys. Seize the day the way that obviously Kang seized the day.
He sees time itself.
Yeah, he sees time itself, and the way that Natasha sees hold of her life.
She really did. Even her death was
Yep.
was
her choice.
doing.
Yeah, I love that, man. And also, guys, obviously from the world where it comes from, as Cap says, you got to do whatever it takes. For Natasha, it was breaking away from the Red Room, you know what I mean? And she fixed both families that she was estranged from or whatever. She obviously did whatever it takes. And Loki, right down to loving himself, you know what I mean, had to do whatever it takes. And Sylvie too, the other Loki.
Sylvie definitely
did whatever it took. And now we're gonna see
madness
and unleash the madness there, guys. So for myself, CM Chuck,
Double A.
Guys, we have been just another Friday night here with you early on the Thursday night. We want to thank all the Friday nighters that joined us tonight, added comments, and make the show what it is, make it so much more fun when we have you guys interaction. And look forward to seeing us back here next Friday night in our regularly scheduled slot with some more of these here to have together like old times, guys. And I think the topic then is going to be pretty fun too. I think we have our next 2 weeks planned. It's going to be really good shows. I really want to hear what you guys have to say. Be back on Friday night. Guys, I guess we got to get back to saying this too, but wear your masks. You know what I mean? Let's
please. We don't want to go back to 2020.
You got to go back in quarantine. Hey, it helps our ratings. Fine with us if you want to do it, but
I don't want the toilet paper hoarding again.
No, none of that.
Meat shortage. Man, that was brutal.
This is where I would normally put a joke in about meat being short enough as it is, but we could save that joke for another way.
I mean, right now the chicken wings are fucking short. So.
You know what? A lack of chicken wings, guys. Come on, get your acts together, guys. But once again, I'm CM Chuck.
Double A.
We're just another Friday night. Go give us a subscribe on YouTube, a follow on TikTok, a follow on Instagram and Facebook, guys. That's it. We'll see you next week on Friday for sure this time. Good night.